Sir, don't you know you're not supposed to say one when you're counting down for starting a camera or
I
whatever?
just did.
Well.
Oh, well.
I just did.
It's supposed
Deal
to be
with it.
professional or whatever.
I'm not professional. What do you mean?
Profession. What's that word? How do you spell it?
Are you actually asking?
No.
Okay, I was like, I wasn't sure. The tone in the voice was confusing.
I am very good at masking my tone, apparently.
That is dangerous.
It is. It really is. Because
Okay.
I can be sarcastic as heck, and people think I'm serious.
All right, we're gonna put that right there.
Good. I muted the street before I could. I muted the stream before I could hear myself talk.
I do that immediately anymore. I'm like, nope, I don't want to hear myself.
Listen, I'm dealing with it even worse, to be honest.
I've always hated hearing my own voice.
It was funny. I was watching our last VOD back last night when I was prepping, just to kind of like exactly remember where we left off, exact words that were said, things like that. And I had the volume up loud enough that obviously I could hear it. And Addie was sitting down the couch from me, and she heard it, and she goes, "Oh, are you listening to Brendan Lee Mulligan again?" And I was like, that's me. And she goes, "What?" And I turned up, and she goes, "No, it's not." I'm like, I turned it around. I'm like, "Yeah, it's my stream. Look, that's me." And she goes, "That does not sound like you." I'm like, "I don't know what you want from me. That's me." Like, that is 100% me. Like, it's my stream. It's not Brendan Lee Mulligan. I mean, thank you. That's a really
Audio
nice compliment.
compression.
Yeah,
Audio compression.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, I do have the bass kind of adjusted, but actually, speaking of which, hold on a second. Did I? Okay, yeah, I do. I was like, I had to make sure I had the voice changer set right for one of your guys' little things that we brought up last session.
What?
I was gonna say Melon should at least know.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
I remember.
That guy that I smacked into the wall.
Yeah, and he was very upset about it. Well, it was really funny. It was really funny when we were coming up with the game plan for that, and I had like this whole plan in mind that was going to be like super serious and like super like dark and stuff. And then Melon said one sentence, and I was like, "Scrap all that. We're going this direction. This is way better." Like,
yeah.
yep, it was great.
This is why you collab with your DM.
It's true. It's true. Well, that's usually why I like so like, let's say, for example, like a warlock that has a patron, right? Like, I feel it's better for the player to be heavily involved with the description and the background and the story of that patron, because then they're going to already kind of like have a connection to it in their head, and the DM is just kind of piggybacking off that. Versus, and this is perfectly viable as well, if the DM is just designing the patron from scratch, it works out well if like the warlock doesn't know much about the patron at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it works. Like,
Also,
there's
hello.
there's Shadow. Let me make sure that things are working with the overlay.
No, they
What
don't.
accent
they are.
was that supposed
That
to be?
was I don't know, but it kind of works.
It sounds like a mix. It sounds like a mixture between Viking and
Pepe Le Pew.
that
I
also
don't
works.
know about that, but I kind of like that. Well, it's actually funny. So one of the NPCs in my in-person game, there's their new companion NPC, because they had too many, so I had to remove one and brought in another one. And if you watch the VODs, he's in there. But he kind of talks like this, and he's kind of like, very eccentric and very all over the place. But his voice like always shifts between French and Spanish, depending on what words I'm saying.
Puss in
And
Boots?
no, actually, he's more like Don Carnage from Tailspin.
Put some boots.
Yeah, it's hilarious, because when I did the voice, I just made it up, and I said, well, I want it to be French, but it came out as Spanish sometimes and French other times. I'm like, you know what? That's okay. It's D&D. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I can make it both.
I mean...
So I was
Yeah.
running with it, and one of my players just starts laughing and goes, "It's Don Carnage." And I went, "Oh my gosh, I can't unhear that." So yeah, I now have Now have Dawn Carnage in our in-person game.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Yep.
How
How are you?
You know, it's been a week, and then
Oops,
ride
sorry.
home from work was gross.
Oof.
Fucking stop and go traffic in 85-degree weather with like 75% humidity is disgusting.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna go over here
Yeah,
because that
so
overlay doesn't have my character.
luckily, like I was stuck in traffic for like I think like 35 minutes, and the first 15 one of my coworkers was behind me, so I literally just put my bike in neutral, threw out the kickstand, and popped in his car. Because it was 15 minutes of going nowhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just
Wow.
gonna sit in your car, dude, while I don't die.
That sucks. But good you had some AC to sit in for a bit. Melon with the 3 stream streak. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need to adjust things here.
No.
Okay. Now how dare you? Okay, so since we're running a little behind, we're just gonna kind of dive right in.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. That is not a dig. Okay. As we return back, the last time we left off, you guys had been wandering all over the city of Darun. You guys had run some errands. You guys had found yourselves in a couple scraps. You guys had some conversations with new faces. And all in all, kind of made your best use of your time around the city of Darun. After several encounters and conversations, you guys all found yourselves back at the Lucky Tankard. This time meeting with the new face of the city of Rhea, this very pale-skinned bar maiden that has been working at the Lucky Tankard, along with Cassivus, who seems to have some work for you guys. And in the course of this meeting taking place, Dax was once again very uneasy and uncomfortable around this new person, Rhea, to the point of bolting once again from the table and essentially disappearing into the district of Riverside. And everyone kind of is unsure where she is at. She's sort of kind of wandering around at this point. The rest of you ended up going to an upper room in the Lucky Tankard for some privacy for a more candid conversation with Cassivus, during which he revealed that he has been contacted through back channels by none other than Lord Avantrian Nephilier, one of the prominent city council members whose name has popped up once or twice with regard to some of the tasks you've been on and adventures you've had so far in the city. This Lord Nephilier is essentially heard of your recent exploits and endeavors and has been intrigued by it to the point where Cassivus has come and approached you about some potential work. There wasn't a whole lot of detail given, but the detail that was given is that there is belief that a Dr. Tobias Arkwright, who is another city council member, may possibly have been behind or involved or in some way, shape, or form connected to the recent goings-on around Darun. And Lord Nephilier believes that the best course of action is to quietly investigate him, which is where you guys come in. And it's about that point that Cassivus got up and asked to speak to Rhea privately in the hall. During which conversation, a more candid conversation between the two of them took place, wherein it was revealed through more meta than anything that the ring on Rhea's finger seems to somehow be connected to or possibly the source of some form of abilities that she has. A voice popped up in her head at the revelation of this ring, but nothing more than that. When the two returned back into the room, Rhea dropped some form of illusion that was covering part of who she was, revealing not a pale-skinned bar maiden with reddish eyes, but actually a tiefling with very uniquely colored horns, a spaded tail, and tiefling teeth, and obviously the eyes that accompany that. And that is where we left off last session. So as we return back to that upper room, All but Daxori are currently in that room, and you guys have just witnessed the illusion drop from what you now know as Hellrhea, the tiefling slash illusioned barmaiden. Cassivus kind of glances at all of you as the illusion drops, and he just returns to his seat in the corner where his back is facing the wall and he's now facing the door. And he grabs one or two of the remaining nuts from the nut bowl that was sitting next to his chair and starts munching, and just kind of quickly gives you all a glance as this illusion drops. Does anyone initially have a reaction to this sudden change, or is it still kind of silent in the room?
She wouldn't like actively say anything, but you all see Telena's expression go from a slightly worried, suspicious, she's hiding something, to a relieved expression of like, oh, that's it? But she doesn't say it out loud.
Sure.
I mean, I will point this out.
Okay.
You don't know exactly that it's tiefling.
I mean, that is
Could
true.
literally just be
It
demon.
Yeah, I will say, without making anybody roll for it, because you guys have been traveling with Daxori for the better, several weeks now, and tieflings are not uncommon in Adalia. She has the hallmarks of a tiefling, but tieflings also have a very unique look as well. So it could be something else. I don't want to give you unknown meta, but without rolling for it, she definitely looks like she could be a tiefling.
Hellrhea is just gonna kind of stand quietly and look at the group as this is all going down, kind of tapping at her side, being like, okay, how long do I have to keep this down for? Just waiting for more reactions.
Does she look visibly uncomfortable in this form?
Melon, that was a
I'm
question.
I'm rolling for a stealth check just to kind of advise to see if it's actually visible.
Oh, if you're actively trying to hide it,
Oh, I
count
gotcha.
roll. That was an insight.
I'm gonna
that's
say
fine.
I will take a disadvantage at this because I did note I am actively tapping
Yeah.
a finger to her side.
Yeah, I'll say that that's contested with the insight, which Talina got an insight of 15, so...
Heck it, we do some dice play. Okay.
Was that, were you doing that
That
at
wasn't
disadvantage, or was it
disadvantage.
just a straight
That's
roll?
fine.
I can do a disadvantage. Let me
I
just
would
do one more.
say, because you already indicated the finger tapping, go ahead and do that at disadvantage. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'll do one
statement.
more roll.
Yep. Oh my gosh,
It-
2 17s?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'll say that Talina, you can tell that she isn't as confident as she was earlier in all of her previous encounters, but she doesn't necessarily come across immediately as uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Essentially, though, for the rest of you guys, as you're standing there, does anyone else have a reaction to this sudden change, or is it just kind of like, oh, okay?
How's Scorch reacting to this suddenly different?
Ooh,
Person
that's a
in
good
the-
question, Shadow. How would Scorch react to this sudden change?
Having been around Dax for a day or two, how long would you say, Neon?
It's been a couple of days.
Okay, so having been around Dax now for a couple of days, he would be cautious, but he wouldn't be scared because to him it just looks like Dax.
That's true.
Hellrhea has also fed the dog a few times.
This is also true.
That's true, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, and the scent of the creature is the same as well, so that helps.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. All right. So after a couple of moments of basically stunted silence from the group, kind of visibly seeing this, Cassivus kind of gives you Hellrhea a look like, let's continue on, kind of just kind of that face and that kind of like hand motion of let's move on. And as that's kind of transitioning there, Daxori, you just had this strange encounter with this individual and have been wandering the streets. You have obviously been contacted once already by Talina, and had a quick brush-in with Cassivus earlier on his way to the tavern. What is Daxori doing at this point? What does she want to do?
So Dax just had this brief encounter with this individual in a lack of a better comparison, plague doctor mask. And she had kind of walked away, so she's gonna slowly start making her way back to the Lucky Tankard, but she's not going like a direct route.
Okay.
She's trying to prolong it as long as possible.
Okay, it's kind of meandering and wandering back in the direction of the waterfront.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's at this point in the day, it is.
I thought it was night.
Yes. Well, yes. Yes, it's nighttime. I was gonna say like the day
Evening.
as like a unit, but yeah, obviously it's
Okay.
it's at this point it's essentially like probably around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at this point, coming on 10. It's been probably like 9 o'clock actually is probably more accurate. So it's like it's dark. It's no longer, this is around like fallish time. So it's it's dark. The sun's not up anymore. The street lanterns, have been lit. The city is quiet. You can hear the sounds of people still awake, but inside their domiciles. There's no where you're at. It's mostly like houses and stuff. There's a few random pubs here and there, or like taverns and stuff, but it's mostly pretty quiet. You do occasionally see a few city guards that are patrolling in their pairs as they usually do. And at this point, you would know that if you were seen wandering around after dark, especially as a tiefling, with fiery hair and kind of a sketchy demeanor to begin with, you're probably going to get stopped and questioned. So I don't know if Dax would actively try to avoid the patrols or if she would just be aware of that. But you would know, you would have that knowledge.
She would be trying to avoid the patrols just because she doesn't want to get bothered.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check real quick.
All right. It's been a bit. I need to remember what my stealth modifier is.
Your stealth modifier is +6.
It is 6. Yes. Ugh. Hold on. Right, what did I do? There we go. Alright. Let me roll with my dice. Oh, I have yet to buy a dice tray, so I might have some more flying dice tonight.
Little rolls. We just do little rolls.
Yeah. So it is going to be a 26.
Okay, yeah. You have no problem dodging the... Wait, that means you rolled a nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it's... Well done. Yeah, you have no problems avoiding the patrols. Anytime you hear the clank of that plate metal sound shuffling down one of the side streets, you duck into an alley or change direction, and worse works since you're not beelining it to the Lucky Tankard. But with a 26, you don't have any problems avoiding any of the guards. You're able to basically move silently and stealthily through the night. You are basically a shadow moving your way through the city. With relative ease, and it will take you some time, but you'll make it back to the waterfront unaccosted and without any sort of issue.
Okay.
As Daxori is basically Assassin Creeding her way through Darun in the middle of night, we'll go ahead and move back over. And at this point, everybody in the room is kind of back to a sitting position. At this, anyone who was sitting is sitting, and the tone is kind of shifted back to more of a conversation at this point.
To point out, if Cassivus was just kind of accepting of it, Rhea was going to reactivate the illusion.
Okay.
Just because, in case, some random person pokes through the door.
Okay. So explain to me and the rest of the group how you engage your illusion again.
So the way that the illusion was dropped was a bit of that flick of the wrist with the ring upon her right hand glowing. A faint kind of, just faintly glowing the actual prismatic color of the gemstone, while the mists kind of just faded out of obscurity So to reacquire it, it's flicking the wrist the other way. The color shifts, but seems a bit inverted
Mm-hmm.
as the horns, the tail will wrap around, kind of assuming a position as like any of the belted fabric, while the horns seem to droop with the mirage kind of waves happening. Her horns would seem to droop and just join in with her hair,
Okay.
and her eyes would just shift after she blinks.
Okay. And as you flick your wrist, is there a reason that you're once again doing this?
You know, I don't like to be seen if I don't have to.
Let's see if this is... Sorry, it got all messed up. Stupid Go XLR.
Oh, God.
Wait, there it is. I found it. It was the wrong setting. Sorry.
I was like, that didn't sound right. So, okay, my apologies. Technology being technology. That was great. That was funny. I was like, oh, I was on the wrong one. What was that?
Is that voice one that only she can hear?
Yes, it's in her head. Yes.
Okay.
And she would have responded in her head as well.
Yeah, and she said what? I'm sorry, while I was trying to get technology to work.
I would prefer not to show my true colors if I don't have to.
I mean, yes, but what difference does it make at this point? Aren't you just wasting your time?
It doesn't take long at all.
Very well, I suppose. I mean, seems like a complete and utter waste of my abilities, but sure, let's put on some fancy outfits and make ourselves look human. That sounds great. Why are they all staring at you?
Will you just be silent so I can pay attention?
Oh, fine, just use my powers for your own will. I'll just be here in the background, just knock if you need me.
Thank you.
And the entire time that was happening, Cassivus is just staring at you, just kind of like watching you stare and have this like subconscious conversation.
Oh no, it's not a staring. It's as she's moving to her seated position.
Okay,
It's just,
okay.
It's the back and forth that
I
she's been
gotcha.
through this song and dance plenty
Yes.
of times that
Yep.
she's just able to respond.
Yep. As you sit back down, Cassivus glance around the rest of you. At this point, to clarify what I was mentioning before, as I said, the Lord had reached out to me about some work, and I mentioned to you just a couple moments ago about Dr. Tobias Arkwright. Now, admittedly, as I mentioned, I have some apprehension and some reservations as to whether or not the good doctor is in fact behind these things. I will say I could see an argument to be made that maybe he is, but it doesn't seem to make sense. Either way, Lord Nefilier believes that he is, and it's worth at least looking into. He would like me to request of you to investigate the good doctor in as quietly and as nonchalantly as you can manage. Would this be something that you'd be interested in? As he glanced around all of you.
Quietly and nonchalantly, so no getting an audience and just straight up asking him directly.
Well, admittedly, I did find it odd, but he made it clear the reason he wants this to go through me, which I suppose makes sense, is he cannot be seen to be investigating another member of the city council. They have a whole system for if there's an issue amongst council members and how they resolve issues. Lord Nefilier believes that without enough evidence to substantiate his claims that Dr. Arkwright is in fact behind this, he cannot bring it to the council without causing an issue. If he brings it up to the council and he has no evidence and it's found that he's wrong, he could be ousted from his seat or could be drastically limited in his ability to help the city, versus bringing it to them with evidence that puts him in a better position and overall makes more sense for him long term, which does make sense to me. I do believe that actually would benefit the council the best. Additionally, as I said, he cannot be seen investigating somebody else on his own. So by him going through back channels and organizing this through a fixer such as myself to a group that is essentially new to town and relatively unknown except for a few who know of your endeavors, it limits his exposure and his potential fallback if this was to go sideways.
I see. So we can ask directly as long as it doesn't link back to him.
Currently, yes.
Any objections to asking him directly as she just glances around the room?
It wouldn't hurt.
This isn't the wrong
Going
time.
around the beating around the bush might actually be better, but going direct isn't always the worst case.
I will say, as you were discussing this and figuring out what you wish to do, it may not be... My advice would be to start looking into this first and then approach Lord Nefilier. However, you can do what you wish you feel is best. Getting counsel with him may be difficult in that he's a council member. They are increasingly busy. There are lots of things that go on, and Nefilier is also a philanthropist and is heavily involved with the community. He has a very busy schedule. I was surprised he was even able to find time to get word to me about this. But if that is something you wish to do, I can advise you on how best to do it. Just take into account it may not happen right away.
Okay. Hang on. Our suspect being Dr. Tobias Arkwright, right? This is out of character. I'm
You're trying to catch my
trying to
notes and
recall
stuff?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, out of character, above table, note recap. Basically, Cassivus has come to you through a third-party intermediary from Lord Avantrian Nefilier because he has heard of your work around town and wishes to try to get your guys' help to investigate a Dr. Tobias Arkwright, Arkwright, who he believes is possibly behind some of the nefarious activity that has been going on in the city as of late. As of right now, there's been no information given to you as to why that's the belief. That's much information you've gotten.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, and it helps me formulate this next bit of dialogue. Do we have any idea where we might find the good Dr. Arkwright?
Yes. So there's a couple of options for you as far as where you might find either some evidence or himself that you could investigate. One is all city council members have their own dwelling within the city council district in the southwestern quadrant of the city. When they are here from their respective districts or from where they reside, they have a small quarters that they can stay in here in the city council. So you could check there. The other option is Dr. Tobias Arkwright is actually from North Daroon. He is the sitting council member as representative for North Daroon. He's the only one. His home is over across the river in North Daroon. So the other option would be to go there and see if he's at home, investigate there, see what you can find in his personal home. Those are basically the best two options. There is a third option. However, I'm not... Damn it, Shadow. I'm not certain of its possibility of producing anything, but it's a potential. The third option is that the belief is that he is connected in some way to the Lowhoods, or was, since you seem to have all dispatched most of them. The third option is actually to go back to the stronghold that you just came from a few days back, and see if there was anything that you missed that might tie back to the good doctor. That would be my three suggestions as where to start. Depending on which you choose, I can provide direction or have Spitwick bring you to where you need to go to try to help.
It wouldn't hurt to search the cinders that now are that manor.
Yes, Hellraya, these are the individuals who basically dispatched. I'm pretty sure you knew all of that, but they, from what you told me...
I gathered as such.
Yes, and from what they told me, they got out of there pretty quickly, so it sounds like there may be some stones yet to be overturned there. However, it has been some time since you were there, so I don't know what you'd find, to be perfectly honest, but who knows?
Ash, most likely.
Possibly, yes. Wait, didn't you light the place on fire when you guys left?
Yes,
Yes.
that's why.
Oh,
that's
I
why
kind of forgot about
Me
that.
too.
Yeah. Yep. So he wouldn't say possibly, he'd say, more than likely, yes, you're going to find a lot of ash.
So any potential paperwork that might link him to whatever orders he may have dispatched is long gone.
Yes. So, yeah, quite honestly, yes, any evidence that may have been there has probably since been burned away. So at that point, apologies, I forgot you burnt it down. Would probably be to either check out his dwelling in the city council district or across the water. Now, if you do decide to investigate his city council dwelling, it will be quite tricky for you all to get in depending on how you want to play it, into the city council area, as it is walled off and has its own guard. So it would require some clever wordplay or some sort of ruse to get you inside, and then to investigate the place. But something tells me, as far as a group, either option you'd probably be able to successfully pull off with little to no problem. And I'd say it's about this time, based on the conversation and everything, that you guys hear footsteps. Actually, I would say this. About this time, Daxori, you've gotten back to the Lucky Tankard, and the place has died down a bit. It's not as busy as it would have been a couple of hours prior, and you do not see your compatriots anywhere, including Scorch. You do see Durnham behind the bar, serving drinks.
She goes up to Durnham.
Okay.
And she kind of leans on the counter. Have you seen Dax, or not Dax? Have you seen Dax?
I thought you were Dax.
Have you seen Talina?
He sees you and slides on over with his tankard. He's wiping us. Oh, I saw them. They were sitting over at that table over there. But after a wee bit of conversation, it seemed that the tall tiefling was wishing to have some sort of private conversation, and ushered them all upstairs to her to her room, or to a room, I should say, not her room, but a room.
Yeah, I gotcha. Can I have a tankard of your hardest liquor? Well, before I head up.
Yeah, my hardest.
Yeah, your hardest liquor.
All right. Let me see. And he starts looking at all the kegs on the back wall, and he's kind of stroking his beard, and he's like, no, that one's shite. That one's a bit weak. And you hear him talking to himself as he's kind of going through, trying to find the strongest one. He's like, well, quite honestly, the best one's probably gonna be... Have you ever had sea wine before?
I have not.
You should
I like
try
the
it.
sound of this.
So he goes over, and it's a smaller keg that is underneath some of the other ones. And he takes a tankard. He takes a tankard, and he puts it under. I'm gonna have you try it first before I give you a full tankard. This ain't no ale. And he pours, and you see this almost fluorescent bluish, greenish liquid come out that is very translucent. That comes out and goes into the tankard, which obviously tankard is not transparent, so you can't see it once it goes in. But he pours basically the equivalent of like 2 shots worth, and turns the spigot off, brings it over, and says, try that before I pour the rest. It's a distilled spirit made from seaweed.
She nods, and right after she nods, she grabs the tankard and immediately downs it.
Oh, just chugs it? Okay.
Immediately.
As you chug it, before I have you make your roll, the flavor hits your mouth, and it's basically a super strong, almost like a kind of a cross between like a tequila and a vodka. So it's a clear spirit. So it's not like a barley or wheat based one like you would see in like a whiskey or a bourbon. It's something made. It's definitely sweeter, but it also has a very salty flavor to it. It's not like a slap you in the face salt. It's more of just kind of like a nice, smooth, salty flavor. But that heat and that burn of a distilled liquor hits your mouth and then hits your throat and then warms you up as it goes all the way down. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. with a DC of 5.
Okay. That's just a nat 20, right?
A D20, yeah. I'm not
A
just going to
D20.
give you a nat 20. that
No,
would be
no, no,
weird.
no. That's not what I meant. I meant
know,
a
I know.
D20.
Yeah.
18.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. All right, so yeah,
It
you
would
throw it back, and
if you actually rolled in at 20 now.
yeah, that would be amazing.
I'm not gonna give it to you. Well, the dice will.
Yeah. So yeah, you're fine. I mean, you know how to hold your liquor. You're no stranger to drinking, and it's a very unique flavor. You've never tasted this before, but it's pretty good actually. I mean, it's not necessarily super sweet. It has a little bit of a sweetness. So it's kind of a sweet and salty, but the salt definitely overpowers the sweet. You want some more, or is that gonna do you for it?
She kind of like, when you're you had just like taste something you've never tasted before. She kind of like smacks her, I'm trying to think of the word. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it.
Like when you go like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So she does that real quick before putting the tankard back down. I'll take another, and more this time. More this time. She says.
All right, I'm gonna warn you. Don't throw it back though. When I pour you more, you're gonna want to sip it so it lasts a little bit longer and it doesn't put you on your ass. All right. And he turns. He doesn't wait for an answer. He
okay.
just grabs the tankard, turns around, and he pours basically half the tankard full of this spirit, which is like. I mean, a tankard is like what? I think it's a full pint, so it's basically a half a pint of this distilled liquor. And gives it back to you. Says, "All right, I'm not gonna charge you for the taste, but for all of that, it's gonna be trying to do math in my head. That would be 1, 2. You know what? I'll make it easy. 2 silver for that."
Where's my silver? She goes ahead and before she takes a sip, she goes into one of her pockets and she pulls out 2 silver and a gold piece and hands it to him. There's your tip as well, she says.
Hey, thank you for that. And he takes it with a nod and moves it over to his little coin purse area. And gives you a nod and says, "All right, well, they're upstairs." And he points to the stairs that are over on the other side of the room. And the way that these stairs are located, it's actually funny because the way the building is open with the side walls open to the exterior, like waterfront and everything, the stairs are actually like in the open area and then just go straight up to the next floor.
Okay.
Which you see easily and could easily make upstairs if you wish.
She takes a deep breath, and then with her tankard in her hand, some good old liquid courage. She goes up the stairs.
Okay, and as you go up the stairs, all the doors are closed, but you very quickly hear the murmur of multiple voiced conversation and the soft flickering light of some sort of candle or oh my gosh, like fireplace flickering from underneath one of the doors on the hall.
Okay. Is there a door on the other side of this door?
Like across the hall?
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. So Dax is going to go ahead and she's going to go up to the door that she thinks that they're behind. But she doesn't open it.
Okay.
Instead, she leans against the wall next to it and starts taking a few sips of her tankard.
Okay.
To try and kind of hype herself up.
Okay, so because of how much sea wine you got poured, I want you to roll me for these couple sips that you've been taking. Roll me another check or a saving throw, excuse me.
Constitution.
Yes, con saving throw. Yeah.
Is it still 5?
No, it's DC 10 now.
Okay.
Every drink it goes up by 5. And because this is a spirit, it's not like knocking back a whole tankard of ale.
What happens if I get 10?
Meets it, beats it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got 10.
Yeah, you're okay. You're definitely feeling the liquid courage hit you though at this point, because I mean you'd roll a 10, so you're not drunk, but you feel a little bit buzzed, and you definitely have that liquid courage starting to warm your belly up.
Okay. And Dax, in Dax fashion, is going to. The door's locked, right?
No, it's not locked. Oh, yes,
did
yes, it
get
is.
relocked.
I
Yes.
forgot that.
Yeah,
Thunk.
yeah.
Yep, that was one of the things we left off with.
So she's gonna go ahead and try the door handle, and upon seeing it lock, she's just going to, instead of knocking, she's gonna kick it as her knock.
And so perfect. So it's about this time that Caspus had just been finishing his remarks, and you guys hear "Foom" up against the door with a single kick.
Is this the kind of kick that's like attempting to open the door? Or the kind of kick that's like, hey, I'm trying to get attention to the people on the other side?
It's a kick that she's trying to get attention, not that she's trying to, bust the door open.
Okay, so not casting Dissonant Whispers.
Oh, please, let's not do that. Does anybody get up to answer the strange, heavy, quote-unquote, knock at the door?
Or are we just gonna leave Dax hanging?
Talina will get up.
She'll probably be
but
drunk by the time.
Freya's
Yeah,
defensive. That's all I gotta say.
before she opens the door, though, she peeks over her shoulder to make sure that if she opens it slightly, nobody inside is visible, and nobody is surprised that the door's opening.
You'd be able to open the door in such a way to just peek out like the crack of it, and it's not going to reveal too many people inside the room besides yourself. And if somebody starts to like manipulate themselves, they might be able to look around you, but for the most part, you could do this pretty easily.
And when you open up the door, you're going to see Dax leaning against the door across the hall with a tankard in her hand and a very much anxious but an anxious but I'm trying to think of the best way to word it. Very much but anxious but an annoyed look on her face, and she's just kind of looking down at the ground.
Have you had more to drink with your are you still sipping at this point? Like just
Yes,
sip,
yes,
sip,
she's
sip?
still
Okay.
sipping it.
I need you to roll one more. This time it's a DC 15.
Dax's cheeks are probably also a little bit rosy at this point.
They're rosy for sure. We're about to find out how rosy as soon as Shadow makes...
I mean, with her red skin, would it really show though?
That's
okay,
what I mean.
but how does she blush?
See, that's the thing. No one knows if she's blushing.
We're about to find
Okay,
out based
so-
on this roll.
She
That's
does
also
blush
true.
red? Okay.
That's also true. We're about to find out whether or not she's
Yeah.
hammered yet or not.
Not hammered, just like drunk. Like there's a way to get there, but yeah.
You said 15?
DC 15, yeah.
18.
Dang. Okay. I mean, she definitely has that buzzed look on her face, and she's not blushing because she has red skin, but has that tiny little bit of a wobble starting.
Before letting Dax in, Talina's actually going to step out real quick, just to give her a quick heads up on she knows. And yeah, so switching in character. You're back. You missed a reveal. You're correct.
She's gonna look up at Talina and with like a raised eyebrow. What reveal?
Well, you had suspicions that Rhea was hiding something. She's your kind, but prefers not to show.
And upon saying that, you don't see any change in expression in Dax's face. And she just looks at Talina in the most monotone and unenthusiastic voice goes, "I know."
Well, she is part of, well, not part of the team. She's part of the mission that Cassius has. So let's play nice. And as she says that, she'll open the door just large enough for us to go through, but not all the way open, so that, anybody in the hallway could look in.
And upon you saying she is now part of the mission, first of all, Dax doesn't know what mission, but second of all, just hearing that, she immediately just downs the rest of her drink.
All right, one more. This time DC 20.
Oh no.
Okay, how much? Wait. Okay, you had half a tankard and you've just been sipping it. Now you're just chugging the rest.
Upon hearing that
Yeah,
the
you know
person
what, yeah.
who she knows and is afraid of
Yeah.
is
okay.
now part of their mission.
Okay, DC. Yeah, we'll just be because you only had a half, so yeah, it'll be one more drink. DC 20. I was thinking that Monhold, but because she's already sipped several times, there would only be about the equivalent of one drink's worth left. So that's why it's only going to be one roll.
DC 25 ain't beating that.
Yeah, no, that's the point. Is as people continue to drink, the DC keeps going up no matter what. So your Constitution will impact that. But in your case, you need to meet a DC 20 on a Constitution saving throw.
I have +1, right?
I don't know what's your saving.
Before.
Let me look here. Let me see your saving throws.
I just want to make sure
you have a
before I
plus-
say what I have.
Yeah, you have a +1 on your con saving throw.
Dirty 20 then.
You got a dirty. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
That's why I wanted to double check.
Yeah,
Because it was
yeah,
either gonna be
okay.
a 19 or a dirty 20.
Yep. So So I mean, you down it, and Tolina, you watch as she downs something, and the smell that's coming out of the tankard. You know what this smell is. You've smelled it before. You know it to be sea wine, and you know it's a lot stronger than any of the ale you guys have been drinking. But she doesn't fall over. She seems to maintain her composure. And I will say that Dax, you're feeling a little wobbly, but you're not gone yet. Like you're definitely.
I will say, she can no longer walk straight.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like walking is wobbly. Like when you stand there, you're kind of okay, but as soon as you start to walk, you're doing that. Oh, officer, I'm fine. I can walk straight line. It's fine. Like that's definitely like you're at that point of walking.
I'm not a drunk officer. You are.
Yeah, I swear to drunk, I'm not God. It's fine.
I love faux drunk neon. It's the best faux drunk I've heard ever.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So yeah, she immediately downs the rest of it right after Talina says that.
Okay.
And as she steps through the door, I'm just gonna put a hand on her shoulder and go, "You got this."
Did you just give her inspiration? You did.
Yes, I did.
Inspiration. All right, well, you have bardic inspiration. Which, how long does that last?
10 minutes.
Okay, all right. For the next 10 minutes, you have bardic inspiration. You get a D4 to any checks, I think.
D8. I'm
Or
fifth level
D8.
now.
That's right.
Ooh.
All right.
It was
Very
a
nice.
D6 before, but it's
So
fine.
Okay,
Dax
gotcha.
is before she gets up
Oh, I'm
on
thinking
the
guidance.
door.
Sorry.
It takes her a second, and it's anyone that can now see through the door and can now see Dax kind of sees that she's having to think about her next step, and she puts a foot out for a second, brings it back, and then finally puts a foot down, and then starts walking very slowly to the door frame, where then she just leans on the door because she's afraid if she walks anymore, she's gonna fall.
I'm gonna say this point of inspiration. If you didn't, you already have it. Never mind. But you would get a point of inspiration for playing drunk, even though mechanically you haven't gotten there yet. So brava. Yeah. So the rest of you guys see as Dax starts to enter the room and using the door frame as a crutch.
Do I still have my exhaustion?
I'm sorry.
Do I still have my exhaustion?
I don't believe
You would have, yes.
I don't believe you've gotten a rest since then. So
No, frick.
yeah, thankfully I don't believe exhaustion point level 1 is negative to saving throw. I think it's just checks, right?
Look, I look this up every time we mention it, and I keep forgetting it.
I know,
too.
I do too. Hold on.
Condition exhaustion. checks is the first one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So you're fine.
Attack
So,
rolls and saving throws is 3. Right?
yeah, that's right. Okay, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's not a huge impact on your first one, but yeah, make sure on your sheet I'm gonna mark that so we don't forget that. There we go.
Oh yeah, no, it was already marked.
It was not for me. That's
No, for
weird.
me it was.
Yeah, I just marked
Under
it
her character icon above the initiative.
on the character sheet.
Yeah.
Of the initiative.
Interesting.
It should be in the left bar. Those. The
No, it
dots
is,
above
but it
initiative
wasn't
and
marked on
proficiency.
my end when I had her sheet open.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Put it in party chat and pin it. Yes, that's what we need to do. Look, you just need to put the exhaustion points in there. Okay, sounds good, Fox. So as Dax pseudo kind of stumbles into the room, Cassivus kind of holds a smirk back, watching it happen. Oh, good, you've joined us. Would you care for a seat, my dear?
I know she's on the borderline of almost gone,
Mm-hmm.
but she's still gonna try and see if she can tell if he's being like condescending or not.
Okay, roll an insight check. And at disadvantage because you have a point of exhaustion. Now that we remember that.
Yes.
Because yeah, you haven't
So-
gotten a
Also
good night's
tipsy.
sleep, yes. Yeah, well, and
Also
there's that.
tipsy.
Yeah, mechanically, she's not drunk, so that's why I'm not giving like any negative things there. But really darn close.
And you said disadvantage?
Yes.
There you go, Neon. Now you can pin it.
Ugh, I just closed
thank
that
you.
percent. I got a 14 because I think I have a +1. Hold on, I accidentally closed my character sheet, so let me double check.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, 14.
14. Okay, with a 14, I mean, you're on the verge of gone with the drunkenness. So your people reading skills are at well, no pun intended, at a
All-time
disadvantage right
low.
now. Yeah, they're not firing on all cylinders right now. So you're not really sure. He seems like he's genuinely asking you to take a seat, but it seems more out of concern that you're gonna hurt yourself than it is for like being condescending or anything. There's a really rough. I was trying to just see how other people like handle like levels of like how you are like mechanically what happens when you're drunk. There's some really rough ones out there.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Done that in the past.
Yep.
I've had some ales with some
Dax-
solid poison effects.
Yeah.
Dax is gonna look at him and kind of give a look of like, I'm an adult and I can take care of myself type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to go and try and walk again.
Okay.
Immediately face first on the ground.
Just right in the middle of the room. Just, and Scorch kind of like perks his ears up and starts to like come over towards you. And Cassivus goes, "Oh my, here, let's get her up before, oh dear." and moves to try to assist. Does anybody else go to move to assist?
All that Helrea will do is kind of whistle to try and get Scorch's attention, and just kind of nod over to the drunken tiefling on the floor.
Okay.
Not Dax. Scorch would have already noticed her and would have already gone
Okay.
over.
Oh yeah. Scorch at this point is basically over to her and is sniffing and licking.
He is pretty much licking the back of her head.
Yep.
Helrea is then just going to stay in her seat and try to regain her composure after having to reveal her deepest secret at this point.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, yeah, this is great. This is fine.
Grigor does the equivalent of a YouTube reaction video of "ooh" when Dax hits the ground, with a heavy flinch. I know that Fox was I don't know if Fox is still AFK, but I assume Tippy just kind of like, oh, never mind, Fox is back. I don't know if
But,
Tippy
I mean-
reacts in any way.
What am I reacting to?
Daxori face planting just full force right in the middle of the floor, trying to drunkenly walk through the room.
Tippy's just gonna tilt her head with a mouth, like her cheeks puffed up with guts,
Nice.
kind of like a chipmunk.
And at this point, Caspus comes over, and because nobody else moved, ironically, and comes over and helps stand Daxori back up. Says, there, all right, let's get you in a seat. And he moves you over near a chair and sits you down. There we go. I forgot to apply that.
Dax flinches upon being touched. However, at this point, she's too much on that line of almost gone and still kind of conscious to really put up a fuss about it.
Okay.
So she lets Cassavus pick her up, and she begrudgingly makes her walks over to a sheet with Cassavus's aid.
Okay. Yeah, and he helps you get to the chair and then kind of gently guides you to sit back down and says, there you are, and hopefully we'll get you some food here in a little bit and hopefully get the edge off. And he goes back to his seat.
I would like to know what everybody's sitting arrangement is in this semicircle that we have gotten.
So, from my perspective, the way that it is laid out is you guys are basically in the far end / corner of this suite. He is sitting in kind of an armchair up against, like, kind of in the corner with his back to the wall. There is a fireplace that is forward and to the right of him. And then there's like a sofa essentially kind of to the front left of him. There's a couple other chairs and such around the room. So as far as how you guys are positioned, he's basically in the back corner. So let me better explain this. Let's see if I can do this without breaking anything. So like there's the room, and he is sitting in a chair like right there. There's a fireplace like right there. Not that obviously that deep away from the wall, but you get the picture. And then there's like a sofa there. There's like an ottoman like right there. There's another chair. There's another chair. Like you guys can kind of basically sit however you want. Like these chairs have been are from the wall and stuff, but
I'm totally judging your placement for a fireplace.
okay.
I never thought a fireplace would be in the corner.
No, it's not. It's on the wall, and then there's a
Oh.
chair. There's a chair here. There's like an arm. There's like a sofa here. There's like another chair here.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
We tracking?
Yeah. If it makes any changes or anything, Rhea would basically be sitting next to Cassavus. As close that
Okay.
next to.
So
would be.
you would be.
So there then.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you'd be
Then
basically.
it would probably be one of the two near the door, so up there-ish.
Selena would be like up here.
Yeah, one of the two near the door, because she's the one that offered to go to the door. So it makes more sense for her to be the one close to the door.
We know Tippy's basically on like a little pedestal, kind of right about there.
This fireplace is probably not on, correct? Because the room was vacant.
Well, fireplaces don't have switches in D&D, so the fire is currently it isn't. There is a fire in the fireplace.
You wouldn't have a fire in a room that isn't supervised, though. That's just dangerous.
Well,
It was kindled when we got in here.
exactly.
Fair.
Listen,
Durham
we're talking about a tavern on the waterfront in a medieval city. There is no fire inspectors here. The fire marshal doesn't have a job yet.
Fire marshal.
You're about to be after all these burning buildings.
Is that the marshal in charge of Fireball?
There you go. Yeah. So basically, that's essentially the setup, and Cassavus is kind of like right there. Does that about work?
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
I figured Dax wouldn't be nowhere near Elrea.
I mean, I put Dax in this chair, but quite frankly, Dax can kind of be wherever. But yeah, so as you guys all kind of regain your seats, more or less, And Cassius kind of plops back down in his chair. He looks over at Daxor with kind of a concerning look, says, we're going to do our best to get through this sort of informational, and we'll see what you retain. Hopefully a lot. Right. Anyways, as I was saying, you have those several options of how to investigate the good doctor. Miss Daxori, I will leave your companions here to fill you in on the details, probably when you're not so inebriated. But if you have questions, please let me know. Did the rest of you have any questions regarding what I've relayed thus far?
None that are so great to draw concern.
Very well. Looks to the rest of you.
Well,
What are the odds of the doctor being forced or blackmailed into helping?
Oh, like what are the odds of someone blackmailing or forcing him into these endeavors? Is that the question?
Yeah.
I suppose anything's possible. I mean, as I mentioned before, and Mr. Softwood, I know you've been here quite for some time as well, Darun is full of all sorts of nefarious creatures. It would not surprise me in the least if there was someone out there that was blackmailing and or forcing or strong-arming Dr. Arkwright's involvement in such nefarious deeds. But it would be interesting just simply because if you were going to strong-arm a member of the city council, he wouldn't be my first pick.
Alternatively, it could be that the Lord blanking on how to pronounce the name.
Nefilie? Is that what you meant?
Nefilie.
Nefilie, yeah. Nefilie is the one who's being pressured and is trying to shake whatever potential suspicions he has. It's all just let's find info and go from there.
It's an interesting viewpoint as well. Yes, I mean, honestly, I think your best course of action, if this is something that you're interested in partaking in, is simply going to be start investigating and see what proverbial fruit the tree may bear.
Yeah, we never officially established that. I figured we were beyond the whole are we down with doing this, but
Well, he had asked the question, and that's when thwack against the door with a kick, trying to knock on the door. So,
yeah, anybody object to getting political? As Telena just looks around the room to see if anybody raises a hand or like.
It's not my first time.
Cassius smirks a bit.
And after waiting for like a solid 2 seconds, she just turns to Cassius and goes, "Well, guess we're in. It's no longer a matter of if; it's a matter of when."
Very well. Well, then the next course of action is you just need to determine which of the options you wish to pursue. Either his dwelling in the southwestern quadrant of the city in the city council district, or across the river in North Darun. Either has its potential problems and potential successes, I suppose. I don't know where he is currently located. The council is not in session was not in session today, and I don't believe they'll be in session for a few more days. So they could be. He may have taken the opportunity to travel back across the city and see his wife, or he may have chosen to stay behind and prep for next session. I'm not sure. But seeing as they are no longer in session for today and for several more days, I would bet money he's probably across the river. But who knows?
Actually, have you heard of any low-hood activity before the whole shenanigans with us in the North End?
Lowhoods aren't typically found in North Darun. They don't typically travel over there. I'm sure there's a few that linger there, and maybe they were planning some sort of expansion, I suppose. I haven't heard rumors of anyone over there now. However, with you all dispatching and quite literally burning them to the ground in the recent situation, it's possible that some of them may have hightailed it across the river to lay low and maybe try to regain the strength. I don't know. But typically, historically anyways, they've always been down here, as it's been more beneficial for them. The economy in North Darun is less than it is here, so they had less money to make, I suppose.
I mean, that does kind of align with the whole having the Lord of Northrune in your pocket. Don't shit where you eat and all that kind of stuff.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't quite make out everything you said.
It makes sense to not have your organization in the same area where your benefactor
Yes,
is.
sort of the whole "don't shit where you eat" sort of conundrum.
Yeah.
It's possible. Quite frankly, speaking candidly, it's an interesting theory that the Lord Nephilier has about Dr. Arkwright, in that I don't personally know what his game would be. Obviously, as some of you do know, is Northrune is not seen highly by the likes of the city. It's seen as lesser than, it's seen than, second-class citizen, and so on and so forth, as we've kind of discussed previously. But I'm unsure as to what his end game would be, or what he's planning to do with all of this. So it is curious that this is even a potential issue. But clearly someone's behind it. We know that much. And I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Alrighty then.
Is there any more questions or anything I can offer?
I don't remember if Talena asked Cassavus about the name Nelroth. I think she did.
I believe you did ask him originally if he was familiar with the name, and he had never heard it.
Right. Did he ask her to investigate and ask his network?
Did ask her investigate what?
Did she ask him to investigate the name Nelroth within his network?
Yes, I do recall. And he said that he was going to look into it. Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
Yep. Been some time.
Have you heard of anything regarding the name I mentioned, Cassavus?
The Nelroth name, correct? Yes. I've not heard anything as of yet. Unfortunately, a lot of my contacts around the city have gone quiet due to what happened with the Lowhoods. In one way or another, everyone usually had business with them in some capacity. But with their recent heightened activity and then sudden disappearance due to your actions, a lot of them are concerned. So I've been having to be a little more gentle with reaching out to them. But don't worry, I will continue to reach out. And as soon as I hear something, you'll be the first to know. Well, second, really.
She just nods calmly and goes, well, unless you have anything else for us, or any of my compatriots have any questions for you, I think it's time we return this room to Durham and head our own ways and reconvene when we find things.
Very well. If you wish for my guidance to get to either location, I'll just do it this way and make it easier. And he kind of leans forward and says, all right, so if you wish to investigate the city council dwelling, you'll need to get down into the city council district in the southwestern quadrant of the city, as I mentioned. There's a large building there that is sort of a resort sort of building, if you will, like a hotel of sorts, with individual apartments for each of the city council members, where, again, you'll have to figure out a way to get in. And you'll have to find his dwelling in there. I'm not sure which room is his, but to my knowledge, they all have their names on the outside. It's pretty secure, so I can't imagine it would be too difficult to find it once you're in. The other domicile, his actual house up in the north part of the city, to my knowledge, he has a home in Juniper Slope district of North Daroon, which is just southwest of Kingfisher Square and west of the Fishmongers district. If you do happen to head up there, have any of you been to North Daroon as of yet? I don't believe you said you had.
Had I been, it was a long time ago.
Very well.
I don't think she's ever crossed the river, so no.
I passed through when I came to a South Daroon.
Okay, of course. Well, if you pass through, then I'm sure you're familiar with the ferry system and the docks. The ferries go every hour, back and forth. There's two ferries, one going one way, one going the other. Once you catch a ferry and you get to the docks, you'll want to head up the hill to the west and go west through the Fishmongers district and into the Juniper Slope district, and you will find his house there. It's one of the larger homes there. I'm sure if you ask around, you'll get directions on where to go. I'm not for certain exactly which home is his, as I've not been there. But I know that his wife is caretaker of the home, so it will always have someone there that you should be able to find. But very well. If there's nothing else, I need to get back to my office and deal with some matters personally, as well as I need to make sure that young Spitwick is staying out of trouble. So it was very good seeing you all, Miss Rhea. It was a pleasure to encounter you again. Hopefully this goes well. And looks over at Daxori. I hope you're all right. Yes.
Before Cassivus leaves, Rhea would just look at him.
And she's just gonna shake her head no to that. Not necessarily because she's drunk, but because she's in the same room as someone she does not want to be in the same room with.
Rhea will just look to Cassivus and tell him, "Give the short one my regards."
Oh, I will. And I'll give him Daxori's as well, I'm sure. And he, but it was a pleasure. And he...
But as he says that, she says, I like Spitwick, but screw him.
I like drunk Daxori. This is great. Yes. Very well understood. All right. Well, it was a pleasure, my friends. Farewell, and do reach out if you have questions. And as he says that, he looks to Talina and like gives a nod, and then exits the room, and you hear his footsteps as he walks off.
Is the nod to Talina noticeable?
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows she has a sending stone, right? Or was that given? No, that was given in...
It was given in Caspus's den, so everybody but Rhea knows that you have it.
Yeah, she just holds up the stone and like wiggles it between her index finger and her thumb before putting it back in her pocket.
Well, that explains some things.
I mean, I don't need the stone, but it helps.
But at this point, you guys are left alone in the room, so...
Rhea will stand. It has been a pleasure. With that, there's a bit of a wince when she says that. But I should return to my residence as well. Shall we convene in the morning?
The question then becomes, shall we convene at the ferry or at the gates to the council?
If we are going to the council district, I will stop to grab some more appropriate attire to make entry.
I was thinking of maybe going in under the guise of a private concert event kind of thing for the council to get some of us in as a distraction, whereas others can go sneak abouts.
If you're implying to have some of us be performers...
She just points at the lyre that she has with her.
I suppose I can work with you.
That might take more than just overnight to set up though, so perhaps we can get that ball rolling as we head up north.
You may want to discuss with the red one while I'm absent. Make sure everything is in place. I will meet you at the ferry docks in the morning. And Rhea will rise to start walking towards the door. Does anything happen as she's walking towards the door? Looking at Dax.
Oh.
I was gonna say, yeah, because Rhea has to walk past everybody to get out of the room.
She's staring at her, and the moment she says red one, because she hates being called that, she stands up like she wants to fight. And she looks at her and she's like, who are you calling red one?
I'm merely making an observation.
She gets into like an aggressive stance. Well, not very nice, and I'm about to teach you a lesson. And her words are very slurred and aren't very characteristic of Dax, except for a few things.
I love it.
Oh, I don't even have to cast a spell to really do something like this. But
I'm pretty sure if you blow on her, she'll fall over at this point. I mean,
yeah. But remember the alignment.
oh, I know. I'm aware.
Oh boy.
Elena's alignment.
Tip is just doing the nom of just like, ooh, we're about to watch a dinner and a show. This is awesome.
Oh, how does this work? I gotta remember.
See, part of me wants to interpose, and part of me is like, nah, Talina would let this play out. But also, would she?
Well, depending on how it goes, I'm just gonna leave it there. Something might happen.
Grigor does the Homer Simpson back away.
Is there going to be a problem moving forward? Or are you just too drunk right now?
Dax is going to look at her up and down, like she's kind of sizing her up.
Which is impressive because Hellrhea is definitely like way shorter than that.
Dax is going. Oh yeah, she is much shorter. So she's gonna look down at her and kind of size her up.
Size her down, more likely.
Yes, size her down, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't want you in this party or in this group."
And why is that?
And she doesn't, and so I'm trying to think of the best way to where is Hellrhea at the moment, like in comparison
She had
to
basically
Dax?
just stood from her chair because as she was making her statements and getting ready to leave, she was just standing up. So basically, still next to Grigor, adjacent the fireplace.
And essentially, Daxori is blocking the way to the door at this particular point.
So she's gonna still stand in front of the door, because I don't trust you.
I don't fully see how trust needs to be built for a job to be done. If I had it my way, your friends wouldn't have even known of my little niche ability.
If I had it my way, and she struggles to get a word out for a moment, and she just kind of keeps repeating "there will be" for a second. there would be a crossbow between your eyes.
Why isn't there?
Dax, at that is like, yeah, she's right, and very drunkenly tries to fumble around for her short bow, and in doing so, falls on her ass.
Back on the ground.
Eh. That
Perhaps
doesn't
next-
qualify, Neon.
No, it
You
does
know
not
what I
qual-
mean
no,
by
not
that?
even close.
Perhaps next time you can face your fears a little bit more coherently.
She just, because now she's shorter, so she just looks up at you and she goes, and she mutters and she mutters this.
Oh boy, we get to play the language game.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and you actually will be able to understand this.
I need to prepare comprehend languages. It's not even a bard spell.
Tap, tap, tippity, tap, tap, tap.
Yes, it is.
I'm just picturing this 3-foot tall squirrel shoving nuts in its mouth in the corner of the room, just enjoying every second of this.
Some really, really
That's
solid
yeah,
typing.
some intense typing going on right now. I assume, Melon, you can read that?
Ahem.
So the rest of you
Rebuttal.
hear the sound of Daxori speaking, which you guys have at this point, for the most part, know is infernal. I will say, Tip, this is the first time I think that you've heard her speak this way. And it is... I don't think you can... Hold on, let me double check.
No, I cannot.
Okay. I would say you
I was about
probably
to
have
say
never even heard this before.
very few can speak infernal.
Yeah, and I would say
I
you're...
almost chose that for Tippy. That's the funnier part.
That, yeah. I would say that more than likely you've never even heard this language spoken before.
It sounds like gibberish.
It sounds like a bunch of breathy, like stuff like that. Basically, it sounds like more like what dissonant whispers should sound like, but it isn't, obviously. And I think Stream can read that. Yes.
Yeah. No meta.
Yeah. no
Immediately
meta.
had to look back up from my phone going, nope, don't read that.
Yeah.
Okay, so just before I send this
Uh-huh.
and cause like weird meta bleed, I have to have language checkbox and the language
Yeah.
selection first.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Before you hit like send.
Okay.
That worked.
And you guys watch as Hellraya responds, but in, I'm guessing, a much more aggressive
Coherent
response.
and yes,
Yeah.
very
Less slurred.
less slurred and definitely more of an aggression tone to it, especially nearing the end of the statement.
Yeah.
And Hellraya is just going to give a nice solid glare at Daxori with a quick blink showing the colored sclera of her eyes and then back to normal.
Okay. And Dax would sit there, and at this point she's no longer blocking the door because of how she fell. And Dax is going to become a very sad Dax for a second.
A very what?
A very sad Dax.
Sad. I thought you said fad, and I'm like, huh?
She's going to become a very sad Dax.
Yeah.
She's going to kind of, at this point, she's still sitting, and she brings her knees up to her chest and mutters this in a very somber tone.
Aww. Sad Dax.
Hellraya's not actually going to give a verbal response, but more of the curious head tilt while still keeping kind of a a strong gaze down at Dax on the ground, knowing that she's still sort of a threat. But now it's more intrigue than defensive.
And at this point, Dax doesn't respond, doesn't even acknowledge Hellraya's existence. She's at this point very much curled up into herself, and she backs away again until her back hits the wall. And seeing this, because I saw Talina's thing, Scorch would go over and lay down next to Dax.
And now I just have a question: if anybody of the party is going to do anything and confront Hellraya because of what just happened.
Funny enough,
Oh, I would
Tippy's-
have, but it didn't go far enough.
Tippy's she's pushing her nuts away
Oh,
because she doesn't like sad Dax. So she gets
Gasp.
down and she goes like in front of, like, in between the two, and Hilaria's gonna hear in her head, I don't know what you said, but you heard this one. I don't like it.
I didn't do anything to this one. She's done it to herself.
What everyone will see is the runes on Tippy's body appear again. I think anyone that would have seen it would have been Dax if she was paying attention at the fight. And next thing you know, the rune
Grigor dies behind the sofa.
the book that hasn't even showed up yet. That's even funnier. Which, speaking of,
Poor Grigor.
So wait, so this is
a
the book.
the flish of her tail, like a very angry flick. Her book does get summoned.
The book appears and is floating directly kind of in front of her head. What are we doing this time?
Make it foggy.
Very well.
As
And as that happens, you guys watch as the book appears, floats for a second, and then opens, and the pages start to go. And as the pages start to flutter, go ahead and what you're gonna do?
I do want to. I don't know. At this point, basically just Hellraya will clench her ring hand, and it will start to shimmer again, the gemstone,
Okay.
as she is starting to get on the defensive.
Okay. Yeah. Hang on.
Leave it to Dax to bring the drama in.
Oh, the drama was welling up. This was going to happen, and I love it.
Yeah, do you want me to cast the spell that I was gonna so you see what I'm doing?
Yes, please go ahead and cast it. Yeah. Basically, as this is happening, the book is like
Hold on.
furiously
I gotta change
like
batteries?
flipping through the is like
The
furiously
mouse died?
flipping through pages like someone like some sort of spectral reader is thumbing through the pages at great speed is essentially what's happening. And so you hear that as the pages are fluttering. But before we do anything, we gotta wait for batteries to be replaced.
Worst time for the mouse batteries to die.
This is why I have a rechargeable mouse.
Oh no.
I used to, and then I got tired of having to plug it in and the cord getting stuck on
Dude,
everything.
If you can get one of the wirelessly charging mice with the wireless mouse pad like charger, it's great. Okay, so I figured this is what you were casting, but I wanted to make sure. So yeah.
As she casts, and the spell will go through, but as she casts, Selena raises her hand, points at Tippery,
Mhm.
and yells out, "Stand down."
Okay, and you need to cast yours real quick. So, Tip, I need you to make a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw. So you go ahead and click that button there in chat if you want to do it that way.
Oh, there it is. I was like, I had to scroll
For
down a little
for
bit.
those wondering, I had that prepared. Quote, targeting whichever one is going to visibly show this argument is going physical.
Yeah, he
Not
GM'd me,
expecting
he's
that
like,
to
"Does
be
this count?"
Tip.
Okay,
Ouch.
so you fail. So actually, just as the fog is starting to waft out of the pages and start to fill the space, you hear Talina tell you to stand down, and you feel the overwhelming sense to stop, and you stand up straight, and as that happens, the fog starts to flow back into the book, and the book suddenly, the pages stop. Like, middle of... That was not the right vibe. The pages suddenly stop. Like, in midair, just freezes. Did you
That's the
change
concentration
your
spell,
mind?
so-
Apparently, I don't have a choice.
Interesting. The Dark One apparently is more powerful than I thought. This could prove fun. And the book slams shut and disappears.
That's a very big fog spear, by the way. I didn't
Yeah,
realize
that
how
is.
big
Yeah,
that
well,
really
hang on.
was.
I need to get rid of that now
Well.
too, because the fog actually is gone. Hang on. Is it on?
Yeah, I just
It's a-
realized.
I marked it around on
visibly,
TV,
it's like
so-
several miles wide.
Well, no. Technically speaking, it's a 20-foot sphere, which you guys are 5 foot by 5 foot, so it's technically the right size.
yeah,
But because we're on a map, it looks like you just put a fog like storm that covers the entire mile and a half wide river. Why
Hopefully,
can
no one's sailing at that time.
why can I not get rid of?
You have to move
The-
Tippy's token because
Oh, is it
I
on
did drop
Tippy?
it on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's on her where her token is.
Oh, okay. So I'm
Is
gonna
it
go
called
ahead and
control?
I'm gonna break concentration. There we go. So that should have gotten. Nope, it didn't. Okay.
it's fine.
How did it broke concentration? Why didn't it go away? That's weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
no, it's
fog
literally
cloud
just
looks
right
more
there.
like control weather.
Wait, how did you spawn? How do I get? What the heck? What the heck is this?
It's one of those
Is it?
spells where you don't have a choice but to put the thing down.
Yeah, I just can't see it.
Is it?
Thank you.
Do you not have a checkbox that you can turn off to place templates?
Is there? Oh. I'm not gonna cast it again to see. Actually, I
Well, you
could.
can click the spell to cast it, see if there's a checkbox, and then X out of it.
Where's that spell at?
I'm just surprised I can't end the
Oh,
animation.
yeah, there it is. I missed it.
Does it follow Tippy when she moves? I
I
wasn't
don't
looking.
know. It's in a specific spot.
Right, so if you move Tippy's token, there should be a effect token thingy there, no? On the gem layers? This is me trying to remember from helping you months ago.
Pardon the technical difficulties.
Just
Enjoy
the
the,
squirrel breaking things.
but on the other hand, enjoy the party turmoil.
Dun dun dun.
Listen, the greatest of adventuring parties or just groups in general probably starts with two people not liking each other one bit and then a giant fight.
It's fine. When we split the party, we'll just make sure those two are in different groups.
For now.
Yeah.
This is so weird. I can't even see like.
That or
That
put them in
effect.
the same group and one of them won't be coming back.
I mean, this could just turn into a situation of this is our get along shirt, but
You find them a common enemy to murder together.
I don't know how you did that, but I literally can't get rid of it.
It's just foggy in that one
It is.
spot.
I
It's
literally
Yeah.
can't do anything with it. It just lives there now.
It's just forever foggy in that one spot of the river.
Yeah.
It's forever foggy on the west docks and north docks.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
may
well-
be able to reset after like
I mean, it'll go
Foundry
away when
goes.
I reboot the game.
yeah.
It may not
So-
actually.
It's fine, Neon. We'll just have it stay there, and if you haven't figured it out by end of session, I can relog as my gym account and
Yeah.
help you search for it.
It's really weird, but yeah, we'll figure it out. It's just very odd. Anyways,
It's just foggy over there now.
yeah,
for
it's
a
just
bit,
foggy over
that's
there now. So, anyways, Tippy, you are basically just you followed the order because you stood down from casting the spell, and suggestion to my knowledge is only effective based on the command that you give. Let me make sure
Yeah,
I'm reading this
it's
correctly.
concentration up to 8 hours. And the suggested course of action can continue for the entire duration. If a subject activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when the subject finishes asking what it was done
Okay.
so.
So in this case, because
technically she's finished standing down.
Yeah.
But I'd argue until the general like
Tone
vibe
has-
of the room
yeah,
has
that's fair.
calmed.
That's fair.
That's very much still a hey, don't re-escalate
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay.
On
so-
that note,
yes.
Helvrea will actually have a reaction of, does anybody else have a problem with myself and moving forward with our task?
Grigor is prairie dogging from behind the sofa.
Grigor's just in the corner like the angry ladies are talking. Oh no.
Yeah.
I think he was prepared for the other spell that Tippy has used in his presence.
Well, and outside of Dax, who does have some magic abilities to a degree, Grigor has no magic, so he's like, I don't want to be involved in this. Like, I want nothing to do with this.
Listen, I don't mind squabbles between between us, but let's not have it go physical unless it's pre-agreed upon by both sides. And she just stares Dax and Rhea like one-on-one directly in the eyes. Like
Dax has
pre-approved by both of them as she turns her head midway that sentence.
Dax doesn't even know you're looking at her. She's still kind of just looking at the ground while she's curled up.
Remember sad girl vibes.
Eith.
And, you know,
Depressed emo girl vibes.
Yes, exactly.
as long as we can depend on each other in case things do go sideways and potentially harmful, you all can have different opinions, and that's perfectly fine. Just don't let it get in the way of anything that might hurt the group.
Fair. But the one with the dog,
Her name's Dax.
Dax, seems to be hiding something from this group as well.
We all have our secrets.
Yet I was forced to get rid of mine. And with that, Helrea is still going to try and approach the door.
I ain't stopping her.
Any last words before she is saying her goodbyes to the group for the night?
No, that, like I said, Dax isn't acknowledging anyone in the room right now.
I think Tippy's
The only one she's
standing between-
The only
What?
thing she's acknowledging is Scorch, and she kind of has one hand petting his head.
I think Tippy's the only one between Hellraya and the door.
One final comment from Helrea. Whatever Dax thinks I am here for and thinks of me, she doesn't know anything, and perhaps shouldn't judge a book by its hidden cover. And with that, Helrea will exit the room and move back to her residence.
Ah, Shadow, thank you.
You're welcome. Take my prime.
Hey guys, did you know you can sub to a Twitch channel with Twitch Prime? And I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so Hellraya leaves the room, leaving the rest of you guys in the room. No fog. The fog has obviously dissipated very quickly. What was left of it? What do you guys want to do?
Trying to think. This was not. No, this was after my performance, right? Yes, I have no more business to do tonight.
Yeah, it's at this point, it's like 10:30, almost 11, maybe somewhere in that ballpark.
I would probably start heading back towards Wizard Lamont because my stuff's in the room there.
Okay, so you leave too. Okay.
Yeah. And I would usher the others out on my way out so that I can give the room back to Durham.
Yeah,
Very
good luck moving
gently
Dax.
when it comes to Dax, yeah.
I mean, she'll eventually get up, call Scorch, and leave the room. But remember, she doesn't have anywhere to go. So
Technically still knows where Basil lives.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Cough,
I know, but she's also not in the mood to walk that far.
Fair.
It is a hefty walk from here at this time of night.
And with her being on that verge of drunk and sober.
Oh, so yeah, it's not a long walk; it's a long stumble.
Yeah. So she, for the first time in a bit, is Talina still there by chance?
She can be if you want to.
Yeah. Well, so before Talina leaves, she acknowledges Talina and asks if there's a room she can stay in.
She'll turn from the door. Is Tippery still inside?
Yeah,
Or would
Paz
Tippery
left
have left? Sorry, I went through you.
yet. Tippy's still in there.
Okay. Have this one on my treat. I still owe you anyway. And on my way down, I'll go past Durham and just let him know that the room's been occupied and just put it on her tab.
Aye, no problem. We'll make sure it's taken care of in the morning. Don't worry about it.
So is there like a bed or anything for Dax to lay on, or
Yeah.
what exactly is in the room?
So this is a suite. So you guys are in kind of this the central like open like the living area of the suite, and there's 2 bedrooms that offshoot off of this room.
That's gonna be expensive.
Dax it would take her a minute because she's also still stumbling. But she'd make her way around the room to try and find one of the bedrooms. And eventually when she does, she immediately just goes over to the bed, calls Scorch up onto it to see if he'll get up on the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately just face plants once Scorch is up there. She's gone.
Okay.
She's dead to the world right now while she's sleeping.
Okay. So yeah. So you pass out and go to sleep. Tip. You kind of watch as Dax stumbles around the room looking for a door and passes the door once or twice before she finally realizes it's a door with a door handle and turns the handle, goes into the room. And do you forget to close the door, Dax, or do you actually like close yourself in?
Once Scorch had come in and got on the bed, she would have closed it before face planting onto the bed.
Okay, so you do watch all that, Tip, and then you do see there's another door on the opposite side of the room that matches the other one. If you wanted to try to find your own place to sleep.
Tippy's not used to being in rooms.
Sure. Because
So
squirrel.
she's gonna, yeah. So she's gonna scurry her way out, then try to find a tree.
Okay. Roll me
Tippy and her trees.
Roll me a you know what? Your choice, nature or survival. Because I can make arguments for both.
Nature.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. You find a tree that sprouts out of the cobblestone that just suddenly. No, I'm kidding. No, it takes you a little bit of wandering, but you don't get too far before you find just a small little tree that happens to be growing in the backyard, like garden of one of the houses nearby. And you're within even in your little tree, you can see the Lucky Tankard over the roof of the small building that you're next to. So you're within eye shot of where you just were, but you do find a tree.
That's where she'll be sleeping.
Okay. So at this point, everyone has kind of adjourned to their respective dwellings and has decided to go to sleep. So we're going to go ahead and take a break here real quick. People go to the restroom, get something to eat, drink, whatever you got to do. And we will return in the morning. You guys can all mark yourselves for a long rest. Dax, because you're sleeping in a bed inside of a dwelling, you can go ahead and remove your point of exhaustion and get your long rest.
Yay!
So yeah, everybody can mark themselves for a long rest, and then we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back if I can find the button. There we go. Button. Who's got the button?
What button?
The change the overlay button.
Ah,
All right, I'll be right back.
that button. No? Yes. Good.
If you friggin' ritual cast a spell, do you still need its components?
I know it doesn't use the spell slot, but that's a good question. That's not how you spell ritual. Um, yeah. I can't find any answers regarding material costs.
See, that'd be cool to be able to use identify in the ritual sense without using a pearl worth 100 plus gold.
Does identify have the ritual tag?
That's the pentagram tag, right? Because it doesn't say it on the actual. But
Let me look at the. Yeah. Also, if you. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have the tag. I thought it would have a tag on the hover over.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at first. Originally, when I was looking at when it says you can cast things like ritual style, and I'm like, but
Yeah.
where
So
do you
rituals
see where
take
it's
10 minutes longer and doesn't use a spell slot.
but nothing about if it uses.
But it doesn't say
spell
anything
component.
about not having material costs, and because of D&D not having hidden rules, it would still take the material costs. But does the material cost have a value associated to it?
Yeah, because it's a pearl worth 100 plus gold pieces.
Does it say it consumes it?
All right, I am back.
No.
Then you just need it. It doesn't actually go away.
Yeah, there's only so this is something we actually were looking into. near bringing in your character, Fox, is that spell components, to my knowledge, and Tyrop just said it, unless it says it's consumed upon casting of the spell, like Revivify consumes a diamond worth 300 gold.
I didn't use the spell slot for that one just to show the. Oh, it does. Yeah, it does show the material cost at the bottom there.
Yeah. So you can see
Button
materials, a
specified
lead-based ink
consumes.
worth at least 10 gold, which the spell consumes. So whenever he has Talina cast illusory script, it will use the ink, and he has to get rid of it.
Speaking of, I need to buy me some ink. I have
Really?
regular bitch-ass ink, but that doesn't do much.
With Identify, I would just need to have the pearl
Mm-hmm. Yep,
with
you just need
worth 100 gold pieces, which is baffling that pearls are 100 plus.
Yeah, so for you, you're looking at which spell again?
Identify.
Okay, so yeah, so it says you just need a pearl worth 100 gold, but it doesn't say that it consumes it, so you're good.
Yeah, it's just a focus.
I just need to get my hands on a pearl. That's all.
Which you have had them, but you decided to be nice and leave them behind.
Felt bad for hurting the old lady.
I mean, that was fair. You did chuck her into a wall.
Hey, those were 100 gold pearls, and they were just in a knick-knack slot?
No, they were in like this display case.
Oh. Fair enough.
They weren't expecting a thieving little squirrel to walk in.
An invisible thieving little squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, lest we forget, you were invisible while this was happening. The only reason Grigor stopped you is because he rolled well, and like there was floating pearls as you were trying to grab them, because like you were invisible but the pearls weren't. Okay. I know. Is everybody back? I know Melon's taking some meds real quick. I think Monhold's right. I have to go back and look at my sheet. Let me look here. A black pearl. Wait. Yeah, a white pearl on my. So currently on my sheet, we're gonna say this. We're gonna homebrew this a teeny bit because my value sheet that I'm operating off of says that white pearls are worth 50 gold, so you need 2. So, I'm trying to decide. You know what?
There's just a pearl object.
Yeah, I would say we're gonna
in
change
G.
it. So your spell doesn't require your spell requires just a single white pearl, which is worth 50 gold. So a standard pearl will do you. It doesn't need to be exactly worth 100. It just needs to be a white pearl.
Oh man, in here I was hoping that Tippy would have still enough for pearls, because she has a pearl necklace, just not made of those fancy pearls. They're
True, yeah.
definitely fake ones, but like she can arrange. She has the money.
Yep. Okay.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. So is everybody back?
I'm back.
Okay, that takes care
I think
of
the only one that's not. I think the only one that's not is Melon.
Melon. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead, and I know that Melon. Oh wait, that's right. Melon doesn't have
here,
wireless
just not
headphones anymore.
Melon is back, but is
okay.
not speaking because of
meds.
personal
Gotcha.
care.
Okie dokie. So, with that being the case, we are going to return now. Yeah, you're fine. Next morning. So we have now moved on to the following morning. That was weird. Random little hey. I don't know what that was.
That was a violin, sir.
No, that was a voice from the tavern pack, but it was just like some random note. Okay. So you
like
guys,
a violin to me.
The next morning arrives. You guys have all gotten your long rest. Everyone, at this point, everyone is well rested. Everyone was able to sleep in relative safety, so you didn't have to worry about any watches or anything like that. 2 of you were sleeping in or 3 of you were sleeping in basically your own bed. Dax, you're sleeping in a soft plush bed. It's probably the first one you slept in like this in a while. Tip, you found the loveliest of trees and are sleeping in just the most coziest of boughs, and it is wonderful. You guys had decided where you were going to meet, so I don't remember what you guys had decided on because you guys tossed around a few ideas. Where are you guys going to meet up?
The ferry, I believe.
The ferry. Okay, all right. So as morning starts to break and the city starts to come alive once more, Grigor is the closest to the dock. So if he was to head to the ferry dock, he would be there first. But does everybody just head straight to the dock, or does anybody do anything on their way to the dock?
Objection.
Yes?
Telena only needs 4 hours of rest.
Oh my freaking elves, man.
So
Freaking
she can
elves. I have
leave,
2 of you in
like-
my in-person game.
She'll leave an hour before sunrise, so she gets to the docks
Sure.
roughly like the golden hour, so she can watch the sun rise over the river.
Okay. All right. Thank you for not breaking the game.
No,
So
it's fine.
you're able to get there and watch the sun rise over the river that's, rise in the east and sets in the west. So down the River Tyne to the east towards the central part of the continent, you watch as the sun comes up almost smack dab in the middle of the river, beautifully casting colors along the rippling water of the River Tyne and catching all of the edges and sharp points of the surrounding buildings, the docks, the moored ships in the harbor, the boughs of the nearby trees, everything just perfectly illuminated by this morning sunlight. You are there so early that the only people who are already out are the fishermen who are just now leaving the dock and or some of them are actually coming back, some of them are heading out depending on what time of day they're leaving, but the ferries aren't running yet. The market stalls aren't open yet. Like, you are there very early. Ray wanted to shop really quickly for a fancier. Oops. Zoop. There we go. Yes. So you now are obviously dealing with that. So keep that in mind.
Yes. Yeah. I
Um.
was like, oh, I
Yep.
had a lovely walk and now I can't see shit.
Yeah. You're like, oh, that's great. This sucks. Sorry. Okay, so Melon, since you already are in your own dwelling, I'd say you already have your own clothes. So I'm not going to make you pay for them, unless you don't think Rhea would have already owned some. Whoops. Because from my understanding, like, it would make sense for her to have... Okay, then yeah, you are 100% able to dress in some nicer clothes if you so wish. So... no need for you to go buy some there, since this is you live here currently. Tip and Dax, morning has come. What how would you guys like to start your day?
Dax would start it by, once she's left the Lucky Tankard, it would take her a bit to kind of find the energy to get out of bed.
Okay. You know what? Actually, do me a favor here.
Mhm.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw of a DC 10. And the only reason, not that you're drunk, we're going to see if she has a hangover.
Yeah. 12.
Okay, you do not have a hangover. You hold your liquor well. You wake up and you have a little bit of that headache, but it starts to go away as soon as your blood starts flowing.
So yeah, Dax is gonna take a bit to kind of get, to stretch and kind of find the energy to get out of bed. But once she does, she's going to go ahead and, once she leaves the Lucky Tankard, before immediately going to the ferry,
Mm-hmm.
she is going to go to the armorer that's down the street and check in on the progress on Scorch's armor.
Okay, so that is all the way over. Basically to the armorer is like kind of over here.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a hike, but if you leave early, you should be able to get there and get back right about when the ferries are going to start running.
Yeah, she does.
Okay, so yeah, you head down to Durin's Forge, where you had met with oh my gosh, what's his name?
I'm blanking on his name too.
Yep, it was Boren. That's right. Where you meet with Boren, and he is just starting to like get the fires started for the day, and so he's pretty much just working the bellows. You see him feeding some fuel into the fire with some hunks of wood and some bags of coal, and he's working these large bellows that he's having to stretch really wide to but he's also every so often reaching over and grabbing some sort of steaming hot cup of something and taking a drink occasionally.
She would, when she enters, she would like gently make her presence known, like whether it's she would make her presence known in a manner that doesn't startle him.
I mean, he's out because his forge is outside. It's on the outside part of the
Yeah,
building. So as you walk up, he
that-
sees you coming. So you're not going to startle him. So he sees you approaching.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, yeah. So once he's going back, well, once she gets there, and he sees her, she's immediately gonna greet him with a smile and a good morning.
Oh, it's good to see you, lassie. What can I do for you today?
I just wanted to check up on the armor for the old pup here.
Oh, that's right. Actually, it's coming along quite nicely. Let's go ahead, and if you're all right with it, we'll see if it fits before I finish up the rest of it. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that works.
Perfect. All right, give me a moment. And he stops moving the bellows and smacks his hands off real heavily, and you see some dust come off of them. And he opens the side door to the forge, like the business, and walks inside. And you hear some shuffling and some movement as he starts going through things. What were you gonna say?
No, nothing.
Nothing? Okay. I am checking my notes. I'm trying to remember what I told you on the details of that, because I know I did.
You told me how much it was gonna cost.
Oh, did you write that down?
Yes.
Perfect.
It
'Cause
was.
I'm not seeing it in my notes, but my notes have been a little crazy lately.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find it in my notes. No. No, that's not. I guess I don't have them in my notes. I thought it was like something like 200 up front and then 200 upon completion or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to check my notes here real quick. Because it was you were having him make leather armor, correct? Or was it? No, it wasn't leather. It was
No, it was leather because she wanted it to be
right, yeah.
maneuverable for him.
That's right, leather armor. Yeah, and I had looked it up. I don't know why. Oh man, I wish I was better at my note taking. I am sorry. That's one of my major fallbacks as the DM. I am terrible at
No,
notes.
you're good. I didn't note it down either, so that's
Yeah.
my bad as well.
Yeah, that's really frustrating. Okay, so yeah, basically it was going to be 200 up front and then 300 upon delivery, I believe is what it was, something like that.
Yes. Yes.
And so he goes inside and comes back, and he's holding. It looks kind of odd in the shape of it because obviously it's built for a dog and not for a humanoid, but it kind of looks like what could be considered like some sort of torso vest. And then as he kind of turns it over, you see the holes and such. And so he goes, all right, come here, Papa. Let's see if we can get this on you, shall we? And he kind of leans down and holds it kind of out in front of him. And you see as he holds it, he actually has it kind of opened where it can kind of drape over the top of the of Scorch.
Scorch would look at him and kind of cock his head to the side in curiosity, but he doesn't go towards him. So Dax is like, yeah, he's not gonna move. Let me hold him for you, and you can fit it on him.
All right.
And with that, Dax holds Scorch so he doesn't try and move around.
Okay, roll me an animal handling check.
I got a nat 1.
Ooh, so as you are trying to hold Scorch, sorry, the gif.
You're welcome.
He holds the armor out there, and you go to kind of wrangle Scorch, and Scorch thinks that you're starting to play with him, and basically turns it into sort of a mixture of a wrestling match and a tug of war match, and starts to kind of like like push up against you and try to like kind of like wrestle you, and then turns into like play mode. And he kind of like wrestles out from your grip and gives you a couple barks, and then puts his front quarters down, his hind quarters up, and has his tail wagging back and forth, and gives a couple barks, and is just ready to start playing.
Dax kind of does like a small breathy laugh before she goes back in to try and, you know, wrangle him in, but also she kind of does it in a way that she's also playing with him while she tries to wrangle him in.
Okay. I'll say, because obviously I was just curious how successful that would be, but after a couple attempts and some haranguing from the two of you, you're able to kind of gently pin Scorch down and start to get the leather armor on him and try to test it. But it's a bit of a wrestling match before Borin is finally able to get the leather armor wrapped around in such a fashion that he's able to test it by cinching it up and testing the size. And he realizes he's got the measurements pretty close, but he's definitely going to need to adjust the sizing a bit so that it's not so tight that it cuts off circulation and, you know, is a threat to the dog. So he kind of adjusts it a bit and goes, all right, well, I think hold still. I think if this blasted dog won't hold still, I think if we pull out a little bit, it should work. It may take me a little bit, but I should have this done by possibly the end of the day, maybe tomorrow morning. Is that going to be all right for you?
No rush, she says as she pats Scorch's head and tells him he's a good boy for, you know, holding still.
And he barks a couple times and does the but yeah, I'll have that ready for you, like I say, by end of day, if not tomorrow morning at the latest, all right?
Okay, I mean, like I said, no rush. I'll probably be by at some point tomorrow to pick it up, if that's the case.
Sounds fair. I'll see you then.
She gives him a nod, waits for him to take the armor off his Scorch.
Oh yeah, he's already got it off.
Okay, so she then starts to walk towards the ferries, calling Scorch to kind of follow her.
And Scorch follows, and Borden returns to working the bellows and doing what he getting his day started. All right. And I assume you make your way back west to the ferry dock?
Yeah, she
Okay.
goes back. She starts making her way to the ferries.
Okay. How did Tip start her day?
She woke up.
Mm-hmm.
She heard a squirrel wake up, which is, I don't know how squirrels wake up. I've never seen them wake up, so I don't know how they wake up.
Okay.
She can come out of the tree and try to figure out how to get to the ferry dock.
I mean, you literally can, from where you're at, you can actually see the ferry dock. You can actually, as you're waking up, you would probably see Talina out at the dock, just kind of lingering. Because you're literally like less than a block away and you're up in a tree, so.
Let's hope I can remember that's the direction I need to go. Through these houses.
I mean, you could always try to go across the roof of the house if you wanted. You are a squirrel after all.
True. I can Assassin's Creed squirrel style.
You can sure give it a try.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Okay. Do this. Roll me a acrobatics check, please. Oh yeah, don't worry about
Maybe.
that tightrope. You're huh?
There we go.
Yep.
Oh no, I was just adding flavor.
Well, yeah, these docks are way higher than the. Oh my gosh, that's 2 nat 20s for you tonight. You with such like skill and intensity and grace, leap from the tree, land gracefully on the roof, and dart across the rooftop, and kind of bouncing off of the little smokestack chimneys that come out of a few of the roofs, slide down a gutter, And next thing you know, boop, you're on the other side of the building on the cobblestone streets on the waterfront side, maybe a couple 100 feet from where Talina is perched on the edge of one of these docks. I mean, it was just this beautiful, like, it's a shame that nobody watched you do this, basically.
Yeah, proudly do my little squirrel strut to the dock and just plop down.
The gift doesn't make sense for the nat 20.
No,
but
the
that
gift would have
been
made sense if it was
otherwise.
anything but a nat 20. Like, actually, if it was a nat 1, that actually would have been perfect. Okay, so yeah, so Talina and Tip, you guys have met up at the dock. At this point, I'd say that the rest of you guys are able to make your way to the dock by the time the ferries are ready to start going.
I just have a question
Okay.
regarding. So we're going to North Daroon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that more of a rundown,
Yes.
beat place? Okay.
Comparatively,
so I'm not wearing the fine clothing. I'm wearing the standard clothing.
Yeah. Now, what Hellraya knows of North Daroon is exactly what you just heard described. It's run down. It's disgusting. There's shit in the streets. There's like, it's like, it is basically the squalor on the other side of the river.
So, in that case, she's not actually wearing her standard red dress. She's wearing more of a more tattered dress. That's kind of more it's got kind of that frill to it, but it's also more of just the rugged farm dress.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still got the red coloring to it, just because flavor.
Okay.
So that's the outfit she has chosen. She is going to then meet everybody at the ferry dock, and we'll continue.
Okay. So at the same time that Hellraya arrives at the dock is about the same time that Dax, you would get back from the forge. And coincidental timing, as you guys are all kind of regrouping here at the dock, I assume Grigor rejoined as well, or was Grigor doing anything this morning?
Grigor did post what they were doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, the hand would not need anything else. The hand would be fine. I'm dyeing the cloak? I guess I'm not. Can you explain what you mean there, Monhold?
I'm pretty sure he bought dye to change the color of the cloak.
Oh.
That's right. Okay. Yes.
So I would have had to soak overnight.
Yes. Okay. Was that something that you would have done overnight, Monhold, or is that something you would have done, like, started the process in the morning?
He would have started overnight.
Okay. So then I would say it's drying in the morning, but it still needs to sit for a little bit longer to continue drying. Or, I mean, you could don it, but it'd be a little on the wet side.
Grigor would carry the damp cloak to have Talina dry it.
Nice.
With magic.
Well played. And would you go all the way over to the Verdant Rest for a checkup?
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh my gosh, I forgot all about the Verdant Rest. I'm trying to remember the guy's voice. I forgot about him. Does anyone remember his voice sounded like? Wasn't it Canadian?
Yes.
Yes,
it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's right. It was Canadian. Yeah. So you get back over to the Verdant Rest, and the clank of a wooden bell, like from the first time, opens as the door opens, and the individual is standing there and turns on. Oh my gosh, I forgot my Canadian accent. Oh, welcome back there. What can I do for you? Oh, you're here for that checkup, eh? Let's take a look there. And so he quickly grabs your hand and starts unwrapping the bandages that he put around it and checks it again and says, oh, it looks like it's starting to clean up a little bit, but let me take some more of this then. And he goes over and gets that salve from before. And he hasn't even given you a chance to say a word. He just starts working, like, immediately. And knocks over a thing, grabs another thing, and slides the salve over and starts patting it onto your hand to put it, like, to replace the bandage and stuff. And he just basically just kind of continues to wrap it up. Do you say or do anything to him while he works?
I would have left a gold coin as a tip.
Oh, thank you for that there. Okay, this should be good then. By the end of the day, it should be nice and good. If you feel you need to, you can come on back tomorrow, But otherwise, you should be fine. You should be all healed up. If you have any issues, come on back and we'll take a look at it. And hopefully we don't have to cut your hand off. That would really suck,
That it would.
Yeah, we'll try to avoid that. Just whatever bit you in the first place, don't do that again.
Very noted.
Good. Well, anything else I can do for you?
That's about it.
Okie dokie then. Well, best of luck, and hopefully the hand heals up nice and good there. Feel free to come on back if you ever need anything. Do you end up leaving, or do you linger around or do anything?
Yeah, Kruger would leave.
Okay. And all right, so you leave and head on back over to where you came from. And again, based on everyone's kind of travelings and morning errands, you guys all kind of arrive around the same time at the ferry docks. And you guys notice that as you guys are all kind of congregating at the ferry dock, a few of you have seen this before, a few of you haven't. But currently there is one ferry docked at the ferry dock. And the ferry is basically a large squarish looking barge with two large masts in the dead center of it with these large, you can see the sails at the top are all furled up. Those of you who've seen it before know that it uses these large, very simplistic square sails. And there's some sort of system for them to maintain a perfect back and forth with wind. It's never really explained or understood how they always seem to go perfectly across the river, but they seem to. And as you guys are arriving and you start to see that the workers for the ferry start to arrive on the ferry as well, and the sails start to unfurl. The ship isn't leaving, but you notice that the sails are unfurling and the ship is starting to prepare for its day of journeys back and forth. You do see that there is like a little, I don't know what you call it. Not really a booth, but there's sort of like a little hut at the dock where the ferry boards, and you can see there's some individuals in and around the hut that appear to have some sort of uniform on that look like they're affiliated with something to do with the ferry.
Sitting on the actual river side, so not on the dock that leads to the ferry, but next to it. Do I see any of my compatriots passing me to go to the dock?
That's a
Or to
great
the
question,
ferry
compatriots.
hut thing?
You said that Dax and who was arriving at the same time as Dax? Sorry.
You guys all kind of arrived at the same time at this point because Helrea had to go through some clothes stuff. Grigor went to go get a checkup. You were checking on armor. Tip was navigating rooftops. So Tip and Talina were probably there first, but everybody else kind of arrived around the same time.
Okay. Upon seeing Helrea, Dax would kind of slow her pace.
Mm-hmm.
And have her kind of, in front of her as she approaches the ferry.
Okay.
Neon, just checking that you saw that.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I was looking at notes.
You're good. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go. So backing up a little bit. Go ahead, Melon. What would it be?
So, Helrea, before even leaving her residence, is just fidgeting with the ring on her finger and basically as this. I'm sorry for my actions last night. Is this going to be a problem today?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure I believe your apology. Doesn't seem sincere.
How can I make it seem sincere?
Maybe don't whack me into a wall next time. That was rude.
Fair.
All right. I feel better. I forgive you. What are we doing today? I'm excited.
Up to North Daroon.
What?
Trying to... Yes.
Oh, good
North
grief.
Daroon.
You get to be excited for an adventure, and we're going out to the shithole that is North Daroon. Lovely.
Dang.
Adventures come in all forms.
This is true. This is true.
And to be honest with you, I would rather keep mine quite simple.
That's fair. That's fair. Simple is safe, and safe is simple. That's fun. We like that. We like safe. All right, very good. What you need from me?
No problems with any casting.
Well, you know me. I can't make any promises, but I'll do my best.
Fair enough.
All right, come on. Tally-ho. Let's go.
Yes, and will you please remain silent unless I need you?
Oh, you're no fun. I mean, no one else can hear me, so what does it matter?
It's distracting.
I'm distracting. No, wait, that's fair. All right, fair enough. And
then you feel it leave your mind.
Okay.
I forgot to hit the button.
That's fine. Oh, this is gonna be crazy wild to deal with. Yay!
Mhm.
Can I just give public kudos? I put it in chat, but can I just give public kudos to Ring Guy and helping me on for crazy?
Ring guy, I love it. That's a great way to describe it too, actually.
Ring Guy, gal, creature, deity. I don't fucking know.
Who knows?
Ring being.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yep, that
go ahead.
sounds about right.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. Well, like I said, fun stuff building that one. But anyways, back to the fair. So now this is before that. So now we're all kind of getting close to the ferry. As you guys are kind of collectively in various shapes and forms kind of inching your way towards the ferry, there's other civilians and populace that are making their way towards the ferry. And it seems very kind of routine for a lot of these people. You see a couple of like small families grabbing their kids, getting ready to go over. You see a couple of city guard, like there's actually 4 of them, and like a little patrol that are that had looked to have like the equivalent of like a rucksack kind of slung over one shoulder, and it looks like they're waiting to board as well. There's just kind of a hodgepodge mixture of townsfolk that seem to be waiting for their time to board. And it doesn't take long until you see a gentleman walk out, and he's wearing sort of a bluish tunic and bluish like kind of a muted royal blue sort of color, like tunic and pants with a matching cap. And he's, all right, we're ready to start boarding. If anyone needs a ticket still, please come see me here at the booth. Otherwise, please show your tickets to the gentleman on the gangplank. Thank you. And those you can see that already have tickets or some sort of a pass in their hand start making their way directly for the gangplank. And a couple people start to get in line to buy tickets.
I suppose we should get in line before it gets too long.
Telena's anxiously looking for any compatriot walking up the pier. I don't know if any have already.
Yeah, are you guys all making your way? Are you guys all gonna make your way that way, or are you guys gonna kind of wait?
Hellraia's gonna make her way to wherever she needs to get a ticket.
Okay, so towards the line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dax is also going to make her way towards the line, yet she's gonna make. She's still keeping, she's keeping people between her and Hellraiah.
Okay.
Grigor would have gone to Telena.
Glad to see a familiar face. And as she sees Hellraiah walk up to the dock, she'll whistle at her, to not as a catcall kind of way, but like a hey, I'm over here, and stands up to walks towards her.
Good morning. Just as casual side conversation as Hellraiah is purchasing her ticket. I'm assuming we've reached that point of the line.
Yeah, you guys are in line.
Okay. Would it be Telena approaching as Hellraiah is purchasing her tickets?
The moment you step onto the docks, I'm presuming as you get in line, she'll like
Okay.
join you as the next one in.
Okay,
Or
so you guys are all
next
kind of
to you.
collectively in line together then, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for Tippy,
Okay, where's Tippy at?
at the edge of the water.
Okay, just lingering. Well, remember, now the docks here, you're about, as we went through in the first session when you guys fought the big serpent thing, you're about 10, 15 feet above the water.
That's okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure you guys, because that's why
That means
earlier
something.
when Tyra was mentioning dangling feet, like unless you're a behemoth, there's no way your feet are touching the water.
Oh no, she's not. She's at the edge of the dock. Because I just have to be at the riverbank or shore to cast this spell.
Ooh, what are you doing?
Because fuck that line. She's casting fairy, man.
Just casting.
Wait,
I'm sorry, what?
Ferryman.
Well, okay, when standing on a riverbank or the shore of some body of water, you summon a fairy spirit and its boat, which appears in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. The spirit disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. The spirit is friendly to you and your companions for the duration. Roll initiative for the creature, which has its own turns. It takes... Okay. Takes you and 1 companion per your level across the river. Well, you're level 5. So it'll take you plus 5 companions, which is your group.
Which is... Yeah.
No action required. It'll take you across the river or to any other location along the same water. If you don't issue any such commands, it defends itself from hostile creatures, but otherwise takes no actions. If your concentration is broken, the fairy and its guide don't disappear. Instead, you lose control of the conjured spirit. It becomes hostile towards you and your companions, and it might attack you. An uncontrolled ferryman can't be dismissed. Oh my gosh. So you guys get in line, and Tippy just kind of looks and he goes, forget that. And so as you're thinking about this, the book appears, and as it spills open, this ship, like this spectral ship, like starts to like drift in this small little form, drift out of the book and go up into the air and goes around you a couple times. And as it does, it gets bigger and bigger, and it goes out in front of you. It goes down to the water, and it looks small because of, perception, but it's now a full-size ship. And as you like look at it and blink, you realize it is a full-sized, basically the size of a fishing vessel. So it's not as big as the ferry, but it's essentially like a sloop-sized ship, essentially. Because it can hold 5 of you.
I'd
Yeah,
like
did
to
you read the
imagine we
higher
were-
levels?
When you cast a spell using a spell slot. Oh wait, what level did you cast this at?
Just normal.
second.
Level.
Just normal,
I
okay.
ain't casting it for 3rd yet.
The boat
If you
can
read
take you and your companions across a planar boundary into the ethereal plane and then exit on another body of water? And using a barbed devil? When you cast a spell using a spell slot of...
the stats for the ferryman is usually a lunar or a beta devil.
When you
But
cast a
4th level
spell
becomes
using a
bard.
spell slot of 5th level or higher, it can traverse the river Styx between planes, taking you and your companions to distant parts of the multiverse or using a Oh my lord.
That's actually kind of wild.
That is... And all you need is a couple coins? Bro,
That it
what?
doesn't consume.
And it doesn't even consume, and it's copper, which is actually like it's actually really I love D&D like spell
Yeah.
components because it's like putting the copper for the ferryman on your eyes sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like it's actually really clever. Okay, there's now a spectral ferry that is about half the size of the barge floating right in front of you in an unoccupied set of water right there. And
Go
ahead.
I'd like to imagine that as we were getting to the front of the line, Antonio was about to cut off Hellrhea for like offering to pay the tickets. The ferry just like camera behind them starts growing and growing,
Yeah,
growing, and
yeah.
she just turns around, sees the boat, and goes, "Never mind," and just walks over to the squirrel.
Yep, sounds about right. And Hellrhea, as you notice this, and you like, what is Hellrhea's reaction as she sees the ferry?
Head tilt, kind of like mouth slightly agape in like confusion. Because she's just digging through her coin purse, about to get the ticket.
Listen, I know you said not to bother you, but holy crap, what is that? Since when is this a thing? This is so cool.
No idea.
Can we do
But
that
we're
one?
taking the squirrel's boat.
That seems like a really good idea. We should keep the squirrel close. I like the squirrel.
Fair. Fair. Sorry, I won't be getting a ticket today.
And as you said, the guy isn't even looking at you. He's looking at the thing, and his mouth is just ajar, and he's just like his hand is like limply pointing towards the. That's all right. I don't even know what to say to that. To be honest with you, I'm confused.
I know what I'm saying. I'm getting on the boat.
All right, that's fine. See you next time. I think.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. And he's not even looking. He's just staring at the spectral ship.
Neither of us are looking.
Yeah,
at
you're not even looking at each other. Yeah, there's no eye contact happening.
So Hellraya will waltz her happy little butt to the squirrel's ethereal boat in her very doesn't look posh at all outfit and hops on board.
And Fox, as everyone's like looking at your boat and making your way over, the book is floating right next to you. Are we really going to let them on? This seems sort of unlike us.
Hey, gotta keep them close, don't we?
True, very true. All right. Clever trick, by the way. And the book slams shut. All right, does
Okay,
everyone
everybody.
board? Oh,
I'm just gonna say, I love how the book's giving her credit, even though the book's the one that did the work.
true, but other things.
That's fair.
So does everybody assume board?
Assuming
Dax would
that
be
Elena gets permission, yeah.
Dax would be hesitant, but upon seeing everyone else go over to it, she's gonna follow the leader.
As Hellraya is approaching and basically, are we good to board? This is to the
Everyone-
squirrel.
Everybody in their collective minds will hear, yeah, everybody aboard. There is rules. Don't piss off the captain. Don't hurt the captain or anybody on this boat. If you happen to see a specter, really don't hurt them. Because I really don't want to fight them or lose them. Because, yeah, they're not fun. They hurt.
Fair.
Agreed.
Hellraya will climb aboard. You are a very interesting little creature.
Which one's the captain?
I assume it's the one at the helm.
Which? Oh dear, I thought it was the squirrel. All right, I'm going quiet.
And yes, none of those actions are ever spoken aloud. Hellraya has gotten very good at speaking in her mind.
Actually, with that, Tippy, can you roll me an Arcana check, please?
Fuck yeah.
God damn. Okay.
Shh.
Yeah, we have a mind reader in the party.
Oh snap! Okay, so
You gotta love my plus 10 Arcana.
I was gonna say that's nasty plus 10. You start to detect this, like, how do I describe this? So you know when you're sitting somewhere and you can hear a conversation happening nearby and you can tell there's someone talking, but you can't make out the words or necessarily where it's coming from, but you know that there's a conversation happening around you. You start to hear that in your mind and you're like, wait a second, who's talking to someone telepathically right now? And like, you starts to glance around and you get the faintest inclination that one of your companions is communicating with somebody telepathically, and it's not you. That is Tyrup, that is what I'm visualizing right there. That's literally what I'm visualizing.
To be fair, that's what I visualized when I
Okay,
I
good.
seen the
It's
Okay.
almost like we've played that game.
It's almost like we played that game together, actually. Like, all right, so you have been given your rules and granted permission to board the ghost ship, essentially. As you guys all board, I wasn't expecting this. As you guys all board, you guys are right next to the ferry. So all of the passengers of the paid-for ferry are like looking over, and you see this one kid, Mom, why do we have to pay? Why can't we go on that one? And she starts shushing him and scooting him away from the edge of the ship, and everyone's just kind of staring at you. But once you guys are all on, Tippy, do you issue orders to commence your journey?
Yes, Tippy will make her way towards the helm next to the captain.
Okay. I'm literally picturing
And-
the ferryman from Sea of Thieves for the captain, by the way. Like, that's the visual I have in my head.
I kind of have the way he looks, but with the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob, how he's all glowy.
Lee.
I don't know why, but it's like the look of him in the Sea of Thieves look, but like glow.
Yeah, I got that. I like that.
Like he matches the ship. He glows.
Now
She
it's kind
will
of
speak
appropriate
in
that there's fog.
her normal tongue, like her. I can't off the top of my head. I can't think of what it's called.
It is
We'll just go-
called... Is it Celestial or Sylvan?
I think Celestial is her actual language.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
She will speak to Celestial to the ferryman and telling him to sail us across the river.
And you guys watch as Tippy utters these words that sound... I'm not exactly sure.
I know what she's saying.
Oh, that's right. You do. Yeah, so you hear... That's right.
What,
Well, yeah,
what
wow.
language is being spoken?
Celestial.
Celestial.
It would be fun to place that into the chat box just because.
I will give me a second. I will do that now. Hopefully, check mark with the language selected.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
And make sure your drop down says Celestial.
Yeah, and it should be in there.
Yeah,
It
because
is.
I can speak Common, Infernal, Celestial, and Primordial.
Yeah, it's cool. When you have your character selected, it'll only give you the options for the languages you speak. Yeah, I forgot. You had a lot of languages.
Blanking on how to spell captain.
Hey, I'm a rogue. I've got to know things.
Captain. Captain.
That would be why I can't spell captain. I had the A and the I mixed up.
I don't have this language, but that's why we have comprehend languages. Smile.
Oops. Celestial looks really pretty.
Yes, it does. It looks really cool. So I don't know what it would sound like, so we're gonna make it up. Celestial, as you guys, so Daxori understands this. The rest of you guys hear Tip for the first time speak audibly, and it comes out in a beautiful kind of like melodic whisper, like ethereal sound, and sounds very beautiful actually, and exact opposite of what it sounds like when Daxori or Hellrhea spoke in Infernal the night before. Like literally polar opposites. But as these words leave Tip's lips, the ferryman just kind of, his head slowly floats to look at her, nods once, and then slowly moves back and starts turning the wheel, and the ship, all on its own, turns and just starts drifting out into the water and just sailing in a perfectly straight direction across the river. Yeah, and you guys are on your way to cross the river. It'll take you a little bit of time. However, you are moving much faster than the traditional ferry moves. The normal ferry, as Grigor and pretty much just Grigor would know, takes about 45 minutes to get all the way across the river. This thing's moving about 2.5 times faster than the ferry. You're probably going to get across in about 20 minutes.
How far from the regular ferry would we be by the time it sets off?
Oh, they weren't even leaving yet. So you're probably going to get across. And by the time you're almost there, they're probably just going to be leaving the shore, like actually like setting sail.
Right, so you said there were two ferries. Is there a ferry in the north side that's
Yep.
departing that we're crossing? Okay.
Yeah.
As we cross that ferry, you mentioned that their sails seem to make sure they're always moving at the correct direction at a set speed or whatever. So I'm curious if Selena would at all recognize if there's some kind of magical movements, or
To the ferries?
if it's just they're ferries, or if
Yeah.
it's just well done sailmanship.
So as you guys are about 2/3 of the way across the river, like you're getting close to the north docks, you notice that the ship in front of you that matches the same style and shape as the other one is starting to leave the docks, and you can glance over and see the other one. You can see the ship is pulling away way in the distance at the other side. But you don't notice there's no pulleys, there's no ropes, there's no chain system. You don't detect any, like, you don't visibly see any arcane abilities around it, but with your arcana check, it doesn't appear that there's any sort of arcane stuff going on here. It seems that there's just a very specific system, and they just have found that if they travel, right here in such a pattern, they can get right across the other side, is what it looks like. Monhold, in answer to your question, I believe you need to do it during a short. Hang on. I can't remember if it's a short or a long
Stand by.
rest.
We'll look for it.
Yep. Short rest. Takes an hour.
Yeah. You need to spend a short rest focused on that item while being in physical contact with it.
Yes. That's a good question, Jesse. Sorry, Jesse's messaging me questions about his new character. Yeah, but because you got, now normally if you were on the other boat, you would pretty much be able to take a short rest to get across the water. It's about basically from time of leaving the dock to docking and deboarding the ferry is just right about an hour. But because you guys are using a ethereal ghost ship that's meant to shuttle the dead and is now being shanghaied to shuttle you guys around, it's only going to take you about 20 minutes.
Right, gotta utilize our surroundings.
Yeah. So after about 20 or so minutes, you guys actually pass the far ferry as it's leaving the dock ever so slowly, and pull into the docks of North Daroon on your ethereal ghost ship. Which, dude, okay, inspiration to you, Fox, because that threw me for a loop in the best way. I was not expecting that. That is amazing. I didn't even realize you had that spell. Okay.
Fuck waiting in lines.
Does anyone want to have done anything during the 20 or so minutes you were crossing the water? Because you guys were moving pretty quick.
I'm assuming I'm drying the dyed cloak.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
With,
because Gregor wants you to help with that.
Prestidigitation, which is a cantrip, so I can just continuously cast that every 6 seconds to dry it over the course of 20 minutes.
Well, and you're out on the river where it's windy, so there's some other benefits here.
Let's see. Ooh, here's one. Cantrip, minor illusion.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have like a rock skipping across the lake as we go.
Like along with you, like following you?
Yes.
Nice.
Just to be a little bit bored, like.
I love it. Okay, so with a rock skipping alongside this ferry, good grief, you guys are weird. This ferryman ghost ship, and you have the drow using her prestidigitation hairdryer to dry out this dyed cloak. You guys pull into the docks at the other side, and you get some very strange looks from some individuals at the docks. No one's like accosting you, but just some very odd looks. Do you guys just go ahead and deboard, or?
Yeah, Calorea would depart as soon as we're on the dock area and ready to, and like able to.
Okay.
Basically waiting for the others to leave the vessel as well.
Just gonna do that to keep my life sane. Okay. All right. So yeah, as you guys all get there, and Tippy, do you immediately just get off, or do you guys what do you do?
She's gonna wait for everyone else to depart.
Okay.
And then, as she touches the ground, she'll turn around, and she kind of like, to everyone else around her, she just looks like she's waving to the captain, but in a way she like waves him off, like, "Hey, you're done for now. You can go back."
And as you wave your hand, the book just softly appears next to you, floating, but doesn't actually open or anything. It says, "Such a nice fellow." And as he says that, the ferryman's boat just starts to like nosedive into the water. Like, it doesn't back up, it doesn't turn anything. It's just the bow of the ship just literally, it looks like it starts to capsize. It just dives straight down into the water, and as it does, just vanishes. And you see the soft glow, like greenish glow of the vessel fade as it disappears from under the water. like very Pirates of the Caribbean Flying
Flying
Dutchman.
Dutchman.
Yes, where it just right down into the water.
This
But
is
you guys
one
are-
of the first times Hellraya will actually like directly speak to Ring Dude, like just as a comment. I agree. I'm starting to like this squirrel too.
We should get one of those. Can we get one? I want one. The boat, not the squirrel. That would be weird.
We'll work on it.
Okay, if we can't get the boat, I'll settle for the squirrel. But boat first.
Right.
I'm assuming this is an internal conversation.
Yep.
Yes, and I'll say
Damn it.
based on the roll from earlier, Tip, you hear that that you detect that conversation again, and roll me a 1d6. No, sorry, not a d6, a d1. Yeah, roll me a 1d6.
Okay, I'm going to make this comment because I've been doing it myself.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes when Hellraya is speaking to the ring voice, she's actually playing with the ring.
Ooh, okay. In that case,
So this is one of those moments that she's just kind of looking out over the water and like observing the boat, but also kind of toying with the ring on her
Okay.
finger.
we're gonna do this then. I want you to roll me not a 1d6. I want you to roll me that. I want you to roll me a perception check. However,
Roll me a that.
roll me a that, but you actually are going to get advantage because of the roll you rolled earlier, because that roll was really high. That was a really high Arcana check earlier.
Yeah, plus 10 Arcana.
Yeah,
You know?
rolling a 15 and walking away with a 25 is wild. Okay, so with a 16%, okay, so your Arcana is great, your perception's garbage. But with the 16, you do notice that out of the group around you, okay, so I detected this earlier, so it's got to be my group. I'm now over here, and I detected again, confirmed it's my group. And as you kind of are quickly surveying your party members, you're like, probably not the dog. And so maybe it's, and you're like trying to figure out who it might be, and you ever so slightly catch the tail remnants of Hellraya kind of fiddling with her ring, and then but that's it. Like it's so quick it almost escapes you. That's all you see.
It's probably the dog.
Yes, it must be the dog, of course. How could we have missed it? The dog is clearly a wizard.
Dog
How
just
you
stands up
doing?
on its hind legs and's like, how'd you know?
I just
Yo, for what?
I just want to point this out, but it is so nice that two of us have decided to give
sentient
Neon
things? Yeah.
a way to do voices.
Oh
just
yeah.
as
Well, and
objects.
actually, on
in
that
the
point, I
group.
want to hold on.
Where's this? Nope, not that.
Where is it? Okay. Oh, there we go. Now I have one for both. There we go. I wasn't sure if that was set correctly. But yes, so you
Hey,
guys,
I might have the ability to give him voices. They just haven't come up yet.
yeah. Well, and it's funny because there's been a couple moments where you guys have. Funny thing is, you haven't even met my most wild NPCs because I've had those in my my in-person game. They're in a completely different area of the map. But regardless, you guys have now entered North Daroon. Welcome to North Daroon. And Hellraya, the first thing you realize, this is not the shithole it was advertised to be in normal Daroon. Same thing, Talina, the rumors that you've heard about North Daroon. And Grigor, the rumors that you've heard about North Daroon. This is not that. It is much more modest than Daroon, but it is very nice. Cobblestone streets, the people are nice. It's a well-cleaned area. And basically the docks are at almost like ground level, and you notice there's these large stairs that go up this cliffside to the city above. And as you guys scale these stairs up into North Daroon, you notice it's a very modest, quaint little. It looked like it could be its own little city. It's obviously much more, like I say, modest and simple. It's not as ornate and as flashy, I guess you could say, as Daroon proper. But it's not the crap hole it's been made out to be. It's very clearly been a exaggeration.
Selena's going to walk to whichever person around her is not looking too busy. And not so much to gain specific directions, more to check the vibe of the people here.
Okay.
She's going to ask directions to the Arkwright Manor.
Okay, so as you guys are getting basically getting to the top of the stairs, there is a simple town crier essentially who is standing at the top of the stairs. Did you guys go up the left stairs or the right stairs to go west or east?
Weast.
Yes. Which dock did we dock at? Because if we docked at the eastern docks, then
No, you're
Probably.
literally.
I went-
There's only one dock. It's like right here. It's a
I
much
went-
smaller dock.
I went to the stairs that are in the south.
That would be called the
the
water.
ones that go into the water.
That would be the water.
Yep. Yep.
All right. I will recall your memory that Cassif has told you to go west when you left the docks. Take that as you will.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. At the top of the
Fine.
western stairs, there is a town crier who seems to be just kind of starting his day. It looks like he has like a little pail that has like some sort of food in it, like some sort of snack. He's got a little wooden stool that he has set up for him to take a little rest later, and he has a little box that he's just set down, and he's like straightening his clothes, and he looks like he's just about to stand up on top of the crate he just placed on the ground when you guys walk up to him.
Probably it's right that I'm asking for the Arkwright Manor.
So you walk up and ask him that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever doesn't look too busy.
Yeah, and he's like, hello, what? I'm sorry?
The Arkwright Manor? I was
Oh.
told it was somewhere, and she points vaguely eastward.
Eastward?
Westward.
Westward, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. Shut up! It's 5 a.m.
West. You
Yes.
just pull a Tweedledee and Tweedledum and poke them both directions. We go that way. Dr. Tobias Arkwright, yes?
That one, yes.
Ah, yes. I do believe that his house is in the Juniper Slope district, which is to the west. If you just follow the road here, there's only one. It leads you west through the Fishmongers district. You'll come to a large well near the mills, and just continue west into the houses out there. And I do believe that his house is the largest house in the center of Juniper Slope. It should have a gate, apologies, a small stone wall around it, and I do believe there's a guard posted there.
The house with the guardman outside. That shouldn't be too tricky to find. Appreciate it. And you said this was a town crier?
He looks like he could be, yeah.
Does he have any kind of tipping hat or whatever nearby?
He actually has, he has his little, he has like a little, like what would be like almost like a bowler cap that's overturned, and it's like right at the base of the crate he was just standing up onto.
I'll drop 2 coins into it.
What 2 coins? That is a wide range.
Silver.
2
but I wouldn't
silver.
wanna-
Okay, all right. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I
I'm
dropped
not
2
gonna
platinum.
be.
Like,
I'm not gonna be super obvious to him what kind of coins it is. It's just I'm gonna drop them from my hand, and he might see them in the shimmer. But
okay,
Just
I'll say
drop
that
2
he
coins
doesn't
from
see
it.
them because he's trying to like get back to what he's doing and stand up on top of the crate. But best of luck. And then he starts to go into announcing some of the, like, he announces the time, he announces some of the events of the day and such as he starts bellowing things out. And it's rather loud for you standing like right beneath him. He's very good at carrying his voice, and it's almost a little overwhelming to be standing this close to him as he starts giving his cries for the day.
Was any of the events of the day or any of the news he was giving of interesting note?
So he mentions that the Kingfisher Square Market will be open in 1 hour. He mentions that the wild dogs that have been plaguing Shearwater are still a problem, and to be wary of any loose animals. He mentions that there are still plots available in the North Tarun Cemetery, and that you can get them for a bargain and a steal. He says, and then he finishes with, "Don't worry, they are to die for." Like, that is a hard thing to say every day. And he repeats his messages again, and then he's repeats the time, and then steps off his crate and sits on his little stool, pulls out a book and reads. And you can tell there seems to be a system to this where he's almost like a clock, where he's supposed to stand up at a certain point, repeat a message, and then he has a break for a bit.
Very well.
No one laughed at my horrible dad joke about the cemetery plots being to die for. Come on, folks.
Oh, I chuckled.
All right.
Not audibly.
That's I chuckled. It was deep inside where those jokes are meant to stay.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys leave the town crier and head west, you guys continue to pass through what is known as the Fishmonger's District, and it's very clear that this is where all of the fishing nets are made. There's a lot of little stalls and such around the area, and some buildings that look to be like manufacturing places for fishing nets. You can see that there's some that are like there's one that's like carving fishing poles, and then on the other side, like towards the waterfront, you actually see where there's large. It's like it looks like fisheries, basically, like not a cannery, obviously, but like where a lot of the fish are being processed, and you can see that there's these large carts that are being wheeled in on one side to bring in the latest catch, and then they're processing it, and then you can see on the other side that they're being wrapped up and placed on another cart to be taken to market.
On our way over, I'll have a encouraging chat about how we might not have a plan, but I have faith in our ability to just wing it like we've always done.
All right. So everybody, including Scorch, just got 8 temporary hit points. Enjoy those.
That should be everyone, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got everyone. At least it looked like it.
Yeah, 6 friendly
yeah,
creatures.
Selena, Helria, Grigor, Tippery, Bass. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And yeah, so as you guys continue west through the Fishmonger's District, it starts to peter out a little bit, and the buildings start to kind of fade, and they start to slowly pick back up again. And just as the town crier told you, the road kind of tees off with a kind of large cobblestone square with a large well right in the middle that has this beautiful like carved stone appearance to it. And oh, does he? Hold on. Please hold. Whoops, that's not good. Thank you. Fixed. That's awkward.
It was like I was selecting things. I was like, well, I'm orange to myself. That makes sense. And
My bad.
everybody's green except for Scorch.
Yeah. But as you guys approach the well, something that all of you but Helrea, and actually, so Helrea and Tippery don't notice this, but Talina, Grigor, and Dax do. The architecture of the well actually looks to match the architecture you guys saw down in the catacombs. It looks very similar. But then as you hit the well, you guys notice that there's several roads that kind of splinter off from that and continue to go north, and then some west. And the architecture has kind of changed a little bit, and it definitely looks like now these are nowhere near the level of like Amber Point houses from like Darun proper, but are clearly nicer than the dwellings you saw when you came up the stairs from the North Docks. And you guys are basically kind of tell you're entering a different district.
Okay.
So he said the middle. As she turns to the group, do we take that one as she points towards the road immediately west, or that one, the one north and then west?
Either one should get us where we need to go. Have any of you figured a plan of our discussion? I take the silence as
As
a no. Game Master, I don't know if
Yes?
you've seen my recent poke to you.
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
I mean, at this point, Dax is kind of just along for the ride. She just still doesn't even really know what's going on.
Yeah, no one relayed to her what
True.
was going on
Oh.
because she was drunk, and so she's literally just kind of like, I was
Yeah,
told to
if,
show at the ferry.
If Dax is looking very confused, Helrea may turn to Telena and say,
You may want to catch her up to speed.
She's not necessarily looking confused. She's just more following along
blissfully ignorant.
yeah, she's
I mean,
more just
has-
following along and kind of like just keeping her eye on her surroundings, because it's a new location, but she's also kind of keeping her eye on Hellraya.
Okay.
So, in answer to your
Sure.
question, Melon, as you've been walking along and kind of taking in the surroundings, of North Darun, and this goes for all of you guys, the architecture of North Darun, like I said, is very modest. It is very similar in that this part of the city is built on these sort of levels that scale in elevation from, water level up onto these different levels on these sort of hills that build kind of almost like this valley. And so where you guys are at is about, a pretty good chunk of probably 50 feet at least off of the water level, if not higher, depending on where you're at. And you can see that there's another level above you that goes up to the next level of the town. Very similar to how Darun is structured. The Fishmonger's district did obviously smell of fish, and the entire area did seem much more lower income and very much like these are the blue collar folks. And then now in the area that you're getting into, you're looking, okay, this might be a more affluent area, possibly, of where we're entering into. And then for Hellraya, as you're walking along and you're trying to kind of dwelling back on the information that's been relayed to you, you've been thinking on the names that have been brought to you and what information you may have on them. And go ahead and roll me a history check.
I knew I should have put points in history.
Womp,
Yeah.
womp.
I should have put points in
That's
history.
okay. So, while you do know the name Dr. Tobias Arkwright, and you know that, wait, Tyro, what? While you do know the name Dr. Tobias Arkwright, and you know that he is a sitting city council member, and you've heard of him before, and you were reminded by Cassivus that he is the North Darun kind of representative, you're not really too familiar with him or any works or things he's been directly involved in. Nothing immediately springs to mind on, any programs that he maybe had a direct hand in or any sort of effects that kind of directly related to him. It's kind of like, it's weird that I don't really know a lot about him. Maybe I should look into him more.
Well, if we don't have a game plan, does anybody recall any details about the good doctor or anything they might know of him? Could help when we go have a chat.
I will say that Dax and Tippy, I'm not going to let you guys roll for that one because you guys are obviously new here. Grigor, you've been in Darun long enough. If you would like to roll a history check at disadvantage, I'll let you do that. Talina, same thing. I'll let you roll. Actually, no, I'm going to let Talina and Grigor roll just a straight roll on that. No disadvantage.
For what? Sorry?
If you would like to roll a history check to see if you can remember any memories you may have related to Dr. Tobias Arkwright.
Oh.
And you can choose to not roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what Talina rolls here real quick.
Okay, we do. Good enough.
Nice. Okay. So we'll start with Grigor. So Grigor, you've definitely heard the name before. You know that he's a council member. You did hear from Elria that she was praising one of the city council members, this very kind man with warm, kind eyes, who had actually stopped into her shop many months ago and had purchased some items from her, and just as she said, had a kind soul, someone who genuinely seemed to have genuinely cared for the interests of the city and was trying to do their best in a city council member position. And she said that was Dr. Tobias Arkwright. For Talina, you have actually performed at various establishments around town beyond just the Wizard and Wand and the Lucky Tankard. And you had been asked once to perform for the city council, but were unable to make it due to scheduling. But the people that had actually spoken to you about all this were representatives of Dr. Tobias Arkwright, and he said that he wanted to hire you specifically because he heard that your voice had a you and your voice and your performance had a special way of connecting to the audience and making them feel things they don't normally feel, not knowing that it's because of your liar. Yeah. And but his people were very willing to be accommodating and were willing to pay you handsomely. Like, seemed very legit. Seemed like a very like a good person. And this is the only city council person who's ever reached out to you in any kind of capacity for the purposes of a performance or anything like that. Like, no one from the city council's ever spoken to you. It's always been performing in taverns and such. This was a first.
Oh, that's nice, because that would have been my in on the south side. So, hey.
But you didn't remember it till now because you didn't meet him directly. It was a representative of his.
Yeah. I actually, after we've decided which direction to go, so let's go. I actually might have an in. I just remembered that one of his staff requested that I play for the council, which would help with our plan down south. The whole performance with some of us and distractions for others. But if we do go with that plan, perhaps we shouldn't all be present here. You know, so we're not associated as an entire group. So those of us who wish to remain in the shadows as the sneaky part of our group might want to take a stroll, and she just points at the stairs north of us. That way? Question mark? And find out anything from the common folk?
The more we know about Dr. Arkwright, the more we can discuss with him, and more details we can grab from him. Whatever you can find. Grigor, was it?
Yeah.
Is there anything you recall? I know you've lived and worked in the South, is that correct?
Yeah, I worked security for Glimmer's Curio Emporium.
You've not heard any word on the street of Dr. Arkwright or any other council members?
Elria, my boss at the Emporium, spoke of him as a good man, cares for the people.
Interesting. Sounds like you're a general politician, if you ask me, but not a lot of details to work with right now.
Best way to find out if such things are true is just ask the common folk what they think about them, but to be subtle about it is hard.
Are you guys still walking while having this conversation, or did you guys stop and chat?
I'm guessing
Given that I suggested we split up, we're probably still at the well.
Okay.
I was guessing this conversation probably could have happened along the walk, and then we stopped at the well.
Perfect. Love it. Okay. So as you guys kind of hit the well, the conversation also kind of peters out. And then, Talina, you said you suggested splitting up?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
if we're all at the manor together and we plan to split up between a quote-unquote distraction performance group and some skulking about peoples, we might not want to be all together here, since we know of a guardsman outside. Or we may,
Well,
so
if
that
you're
they have a
looking
cover.
for someone that might be a part of your performance trope, I have been known to perform quite well in showmanship. Or at least on average.
And then goes to Grieger, and You're a known guardsman, so you could be a bodyguard. Assuming you'll even want to be with us instead of the sneaking around crew. Does anybody have a preference regarding that for the south side of the plan? Not today.
I would much like to be centered with that, to gather as much intel as I could.
I'd prefer if my face isn't as well known.
Okay, so Grigor's with the sneaky crew. Gathering information can be done on both sides. She turns to Tippery.
I could go either way.
Has Telena seen Tippery go invisible? I don't remember.
Trying to
Has
think.
Hellrhea?
Hellrhea has not.
Selena, I believe, because Tippy went invisible in front of them when they first met.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. In the manor.
Right.
Yeah, everybody
that
in the group
case-
besides Hellrhea knows that Tippy can go invisible.
In that case, she would nudge her like with your abilities staying undetected could be good, and with your method of communication being nonverbal, could be a great way to keep communication in that group as well.
I mean, I'll go wherever you need me. If you need me there, I'll go there. If you need me elsewhere, I'll go there.
And then she turns to Dax, who's being uncharacteristically quiet in this conversation.
Ooh.
And what about you, Dax?
Hello.
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 So Dax is going to look at Talina and be like, I'm not really the, what would you say? I'm not really the performing type. But at the same time, I want to be as far away from you as possible. In saying that, she points at, why am I blanking on her name?
Hellrhea.
Yeah, she points at Hellrhea.
How rude.
Why'd I hear Jar Jar Binks in that?
I don't trust her yet.
Wow, to her face, no less.
Dax isn't one to shy away from telling people how she feels straight to their face.
Fair.
In a very smug demeanor, Hellrhea will respond. That's understandable.
Well, trust is earned after all. Out of character. Did Hellrhea? Yeah, Hellrhea said she was coming with me, right?
Yes.
So that just means Dax want to stay hidden and not be near Hellrhea, which is the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing that she's already been doing the past couple of days.
Also,
So yeah, I guess she's gonna go with Grigor then.
Yeah, with Grigor and Tippery.
Mm-hmm.
So was the dog wearing the new armor?
No, the dog was not wearing the new armor yet, and
Okay.
so he's just he's following Dax until Dax turns around and is like, I'm not gonna have you follow me for this one, buddy. Why don't you go hang out with Talina over there? And he points over to Talina, and Scorch, having known Talina for a little bit now and having been pet and fed by her, would kind of cock his head, then turn to where Dax is pointing and just kind of be looking at Talina.
I'm a how do you call it when you squat? That's the word. I'm gonna squat to get to his level and raise my arm forward with my palm down to have the dog like sniff my hand and stuff.
He would sniff it, and upon sniffing it and recognizing the scent, he gets all happy and starts wagging his tail and starts jumping around and all of that.
He pets, and as I turn to Rhea and suggest we head out then to get the gig set up as the others are in some info gathering for today, and Rhea might be able to get some info from the peoples at the manor.
It should all work out.
Sorry, Neon.
That's okay,
I'm
so-
about to split the party.
So I'm trying to track this. So my understanding is, well, actually, you're gonna have to tell me. So who's doing what?
So the two of Talina and Helrea, and I guess Scorch is going to be in the
Scorch,
mix.
yeah.
We are going to the doctor's manor,
Okay.
and I guess we're going to be asking around some of the persons that work for him, or possibly even seeing the doctor himself.
Okay.
Selena's
The other
actually specifically
three...
looking for Mrs. Arkwright
Okay.
to get this set up as a quote surprise for the council.
Oh, goody.
Okay.
That's also going to feed well for Helrea. Anyways, the other three are to go talk to the townsfolk of North Daroon in Kingfisher Squire.
Yeah. You know what? Shush. It's Kingfisher Square. I don't want to talk about it.
Squire.
I don't know how you pronouncing square, but it is pronounced like this. It is Kingfisher Square.
What's those knights? The little lackeys always by night.
Squire?
Yeah,
It is Kingfisher Squire. Come on, my dude. What is the problem?
I'm sorry.
If that voice isn't an actual NPC in the future, I'm going to be massively disappointed, sir.
Listen, okay, it is going to be just fine. It is Squire. Jeez Louise.
I'm sorry. I had to point it out.
All good. Okay, so you guys are splitting up here at the well, and three of you are basically heading up into the square to go, or to the Kingfisher Square district to try and get information, and then the other three of you are going to try to find the house and investigate the house.
Sorry, I forgot to do that.
All good? Okay. So in that case, we're going to go ahead and end session here as you guys basically decide to split up and head in two different directions. I'm going to write down in my notes so I don't forget who's going where. So we have Dax, Tippy, and Grigor. Square spelled correctly.
Yeah. Note to self, fix Mac.
Yeah, that's a whole
Maybe-
process to do that.
Maybe back then they didn't know how to spell square, so that's
You know
how they
what?
spell square.
This is the Adalian way of spelling square. That's what that is. It is. You don't need a U after a Q. It's a U after a Q. Yes, sure.
Not me checking the rest of Daroon.
Shut up.
Nope, that's the only square.
All right, so you're looking for Mrs. Arkwright. Okay. All right, so we will go ahead and end the session here as you guys split up in North Daroon trying to seek out information regarding Dr. Tobias Arkwright. And we will pick up this next session.
Why the heck do we always split the party?
I don't know. You guys are
Because
going to give me an
it's efficient.
aneurysm. It's efficient with 5 of you guys. Oh, yes, sacre. Sacre. Yes, the Kingfisher sacre. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for playing. Thank you very much for those that
No,
decided to
thank
hang out
you.
and watch. Of course, yeah. I had that. This was fun. I always like this though because whenever I sit down and do prep, I prep out what I think will be for a session, and then we touch like a quarter of it. I'm like, cool. I prepped for 3 sessions. Like
That and things happen like Dax getting drunk.
Dax getting drunk, calling the ferryman to carry you across the river when there's a perfectly good ferry right there.
The heavy argument between Dax and
Drunk
Hellraya
Dax and Hellraya.
to
Where
the point
Dax-
where
Dax
Hellraya,
cracked-
yeah.
Dax cracked a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tippy saying, nope, you hurt someone, not cool. And then immediately getting, no, don't do that. Like, it was fun.
Yes.
We love party conflict.
Yes, so good. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, guys, very, very, very much. We will see you guys in the next one. I am going to try to get this VOD up quicker than I have the others because I've been really bad with that lately. But all VODs are currently up on YouTube. This one will go up, and it will be the last one that we need. Like, there's not more that are waiting. But yes, and hopefully, maybe soon we'll get Jesse back in the party. We'll see. So, cool. Jesse. But thanks everybody.
I don't
You guys-
think I don't think I'm ready for that.
Oh, I'm ready.
I haven't even had my
chaos.
fun yet, and you're gonna put the empathy link in here.
I'm gonna put the someone to back up Talina with the moral high ground.
Ugh, gross.
I know, right?
No, don't worry.
Gross. How dare you?
Depending on how Dax's and Hellraya's relationship go,
If
she
that
may-
melds and gets better, then yeah, they're gonna be a pretty obnoxious duo.
Yes. Well, and it's great that we have you have this. The ring is derpy. So there's that.
Yes.
You have the derpy ring and the not so derpy book.
The not so derpy book. Yeah. No. And then we've got. Oh yes, let's do all the things.
Let's do all the evil things.
Yes. Although I'm not quite sure what the fairy was about, but fun move. Cool.
Listen, fuck waiting in a line.
I know,
fuck
right?
pay.
Yeah, forget the line. We're cutting. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. All of you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you guys for playing, and we'll see you guys next time.